in a second round of 69.
Yeah, I played the front nine really well today, and then I got a divot ball on my 11th hole of the day, and it kind of wobbled me, and then after that it was a fight. So yeah, it's a tough golf course, this. To me, it's one of the toughest tests in Joburg. It's a par 70 that starts it off, so you only get 2 par 5s, and the par 3s are just very, very, very strong holes. Driving is obviously a premium here, and the fairways are running, so any false shots are penalised badly. So it's a test of patience out here, and it's a test of trying to just make a lot of pars.
Another seasoned campaigner in Adilson de Silva joined Van den Berg in a tie for third place after rounds of 70 and 69.
I felt like I hit the ball pretty good. I drove the ball well, kept in play. Because I think that's quite a lot to do in this course. And also the ball was running quite a bit, so I just, tried to keep it low and just bumped it down. And yeah, my putting sort of was also, good in patches. It was okay. So yeah, overall I was happy with it.
Those 4 golfers are the only players under par after 36 holes at Killarney Country Club. Ruan Korb is in solo 5th place on level par, while Jaden Shaper carded the low round of the afternoon at 2 under 68 to finish on 1 over and tied 6th.
Betway brings you 24/7 endless entertainment. Available anywhere, anytime. With classic roulette, exciting money wheels, exhilarating card games, and rapid rolls of the dice, giving you even more chances to win your way. Visit betway.co.za and play today.
African Bank still offers SA's best investment rate of 12.22%. Visit africanbank.co.za for more information.
The COVID-19 pandemic brought about an abrupt halt to professional golf in South Africa. The Sunshine Tour has managed to weather that storm, though, and is now back with a bang with the Rise Up series. Putting on this new 5-event stretch has not come without its own set of challenges, though.
We aligned ourselves with Golf RSA's strategy in terms of their risk mitigation plan that they've submitted to government. Aspects of that, obviously, we could enhance with the efforts that we can make around our events safer.
The Health Docs application has been key for the tour. The players have been able to screen themselves prior to the event on a daily basis to ensure they are not exhibiting any COVID-19 related symptoms.
Our players actually came to the party in that sense that they were screening themselves for at least a 14-day period before we resumed. We were able to track that quite successfully and intervene when we saw a potential problem. Those players that couldn't have the 14-day compliance had to go for COVID testing, which quite a few players did in the end, and it worked out well.
Once the players, caddies, staff and officials arrive at the tournament, they undergo further screening, all in conjunction with the Health Docs app.
We set up a screening station, so through which we scan temperatures of everybody that arrives on site. The rest of it is really just to follow protocols that we've put out on safe distancing, sanitizing the hands at arrival. I think by the nature of doing what we do is we don't have a huge congregation of people on site, even though we effectively have well over 200 people involved. On site, it's spread out through a long period of many hours. So you don't have a congregation of people, especially not inside the clubhouses, because all those facilities are really closed. There's no players' lounge, caddy lounge. Even for our staff, we encourage them not to spend too much time around in the clubhouse. It's out on the golf course and where you spread out, and that's easy to manage.
The players have embraced the measures taken by the tour to ensure their safety during this trying time.
I think it's brilliant. I mean, I think before the tour ended up picking up, you kind of think about how are they going to be able to do it in a South African context. You know, it's a lot easier in Europe or on the PGA Tour or whatever. We can't quite have a bubble here, but they're doing everything they can aside from that, literally. So, yeah, I think they've done a fantastic job, and it's a credit to them that we're even playing at the moment.
Only bad thing this morning was we were all standing in a queue in the cold, no coffee. No, it's good. You know, you come in, you do your stuff, and you're in. You know, you can then go from there. You can just do what you have to do.
It's the new normal, isn't it? It's the way we've got to go about things going forward due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But it really has been exceptionally well handled by the Sunshine Tour, ensuring that we do get back to professional golf. Sitting in the clubhouse here at Killarney Country Club, my name's Richard Masborough, and I'll be with you for the next few hours. Thank you for joining us on our live stream of the final round of the Betway Championship. It's lovely to have you with us wherever you might be watching from, be it on the Sunshine Tour's Facebook and YouTube pages or on DSTV Now. Thank you for joining us today. A glorious day in Johannesburg, a glorious winter's day. It has been chilly, but it is slightly warmer today. 18 degrees Celsius here, and just a light breeze, but just enough to get the players' interest. But clear skies and wonderful conditions for golf. Not on my own today, though. I've got a whole host of guests that will be joining me throughout the course of the afternoon, including my co-commentator who is out and about, Oji Molefe. How are you doing out there?
Good afternoon, Richie. Yes, it's been a great tournament so far. The Sunshine Tour getting back into play, standing just off the 18th green, where I suspect we'll see quite a lot of action here today. It's been playing tough for the entire week. A few players have already finished playing already, so we're expecting quite a hot afternoon here at Killarney Country Club.
You touched on how tough it is. Only 4 players at the moment under par. It looks like it might be slightly easier for the professionals today, but it's not reflecting in the scoring, although a few of them are making somewhat of a move. OG, what's the response been like from the guys that have come through so far and finished up their rounds? What are they saying?
One of the guys who's gone under par today is Heinrich Brainers. Heini, it's been a tough outing for you guys, but you must be happy to be playing golf once again.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's obviously the first tournament back. I was so nervous yesterday coming down the stage, funny enough, after a while, but I was wearing my lucky shirt today. So yeah, no, I played nicely. I made it awesome up and down in the last hole. It almost was a disaster, but I made a good par and shot one under. The course is playing unbelievably tough, and as everyone can see, the scoring hasn't been easy. I think I moved up quite a few spots today, and yeah, I'm just a little bit disappointed yesterday as I made a few bad bogeys on the stretch there, but there were so many positives that I'm going to take away for next week, so looking forward to next week.
It being the first tournament, obviously you guys, have been waiting for 5 months to get out here and play, to get the competitive juices going once again must be great.
Yeah, so like I said, like in the first few holes, it was obviously more intense. Like I was more nervous than I normally was. Like yesterday, I told my partner Adam that when I stood on the tee box, I was like, "Wow, I'm gonna make this putt for par in the last hole." So it's obviously getting back into playing. But yeah, it was an awesome week just to be out on the golf course with everything that's been going on. I'm sure everyone's delighted and excited to play the next few events.
It's been playing tough the whole week. For you to go under par in the final round must be good. We saw Jaco van Zyl going 5 under, so there are birdie opportunities out there.
Yeah, if you're hitting it straight and you're hitting it good off the tee, you can definitely score. But if you're missing the fairways, you've got no chance. I told Adam, my caddy, like I said to him, like, well, I got to take off a little bit more off the tee box because yesterday I was a little bit defensive coming in. But the only way you can stop it on the greens is with the wedges. So if you're coming in there with a wedge or 9-9, you're gonna struggle to hold the green. So, but I was just a little bit more aggressive with the tee, and that's all I tried to do today. And it kind of almost fell back at the end, but I just grinded out to make the few pars coming in. So, but lots of positives for next week, and yeah, super excited for what's to come.
Well played this week, Heini, and thanks a lot, brother.
Thanks, Oji, thank you.
Good. Well, Richie, as you hear from Heinrich, of course, not playing easy, but yeah, for the guys to be back again, it's absolutely wonderful.
Thanks, OG. Yeah, it is good to hear from Heinrich and good to hear that there are scores to be made out there at this stage. It's Anton Haig who is making a move. Started the day in a share of second place on 2 under par, but has moved to 4 under now as the golfers have hit the turn. Alex Heindel was in the lead after 36 holes, 3 under par for him after rounds of 70 and 67. But has struggled somewhat today. Level par on his round through 9 holes, and just the back 9 waiting for the golfers. That is a fantastic shot from Alex, and hopefully that will kickstart his charge on the back 9. Alex looking for his 4th win on the Sunshine Tour, and certainly one to watch out for. A course that definitely suits him. Strategic play is required at just about every turn at Killarney Country Club. As we see the other man in picture playing alongside Alex, Ulrich van den Berg, one of the seasoned campaigners on tour, been around for 21 odd years as a professional and also using his experience throughout the course of the week. He's carded rounds of 70 and 69. Started the day in a share of 3rd place, 1 under par, and also one to watch out for. He managed to get it to 3 under, 2 under par through the turn for Ulrich. Picked up birdies on the 5th, the 8th and the 9th holes today. That after dropping a shot on the 3rd hole. Let's see his approach into the 10th now. Leaving it a little bit short. That's not really where you want to be on the 10th hole. It's going to leave him with a fairly lengthy putt there. 23 paces on the 10th hole and 7 in from the right. So a bit of work to do for Ulrich van den Berg to get close there. But his playing partners both safely aboard the 10th. And there's our leader at the moment, Anton Haig, the man out in front, 4 under par at this stage. First 2 rounds of 69 and 69 and looking very comfortable. 2 under through his first 9 holes today. And that courtesy of an eagle on the 5th hole. Really, those are the scoring opportunities here at Killarney Country Club. The 2 par 5s, there's only 2 of them. It's a par 70 here at Killarney. And one of the shorter tracks that the guys are going to get to play on tour. But still plenty of strategy and clear thinking needed if they are to better this course. Anton certainly made the most of that. Took advantage of the par 5 on the front 9 with an eagle 3 there. And that saw him turn in 33. Anton Haig is safely home. And Alex Heindel, you can see the other ball in picture there. Just left of the flag for him, just right as we look at it. You can see a bit of a breeze getting up there, and that is going to make it slightly tricky for the golfers. It is an interesting layout. It's very much a links type layout where it's out and in, so you get it into the wind. And then when you come back, it should be with you. And it will make it slightly easier for the golfers as they head for the homeward stretch. But there's our lead group at the moment, match number 15. And the 3 golfers we will be keeping a close eye on today. Alex Heindel, Anton Haig and Ulrich van den Berg. Things working a little differently this week for the first Sunshine Tour event back from the COVID-19 pandemic break. And not only the precautions that are taken to ensure the players' safety, but there's a couple of other things that they are doing differently. The caddies themselves are carrying rakes around to sort out the bunkers. And the new scoring method as well is also being trialed this week and certainly has proved to be fairly popular with the players. So the app is being used to keep tabs on what the players are doing at the moment. So that's been fairly nice to see how they have embraced that and how they have managed to keep scorecards out of the hand and keep them from swapping scorecards amongst the players. A little bit over eager there from Ulrich van den Berg. That's his effort. Coming up just short of the green on the 10th, and that's going to leave him a little bit of work to do as he tries to stay on 3 under par, 2 under for his round today. And this, of course, on the 10th hole here at Killarney Country Club. This is our lead group, match number 15 in the Betway Championship, the first of 5 events in the new Rise Up series that gets the 2020-2021 season underway. The Betway Championship up first, 107 golfers teed off in this event. And next week, the African Bank Sunshine Tour Champs taking place at Glendower Golf Club. And that's all part of the Sunshine Tour's new Rise Up series. A whole bunch of new sponsors coming on board, including Betway, and we do thank them for their support of South African golf and in particular of this event. Anton Haig now with his birdie attempt on the par 4 10th hole, 4 under par at this stage. Cozies it up, does Anton Haig. That'll be left for par, as he looks to stay out in front. A one-shot advantage for him at this stage. Looking to bag his 3rd win on the Sunshine Tour. Just moving his marker out of the line of Ulrich van den Berg, who's still got to come with his effort for par. Bit of work for him to do as he surveys what's left on the 10th hole. Conditions pretty good for the golfers out there. Course is playing firm and fast. It is winter golf on the Highveld. Plenty of run out on the fairways, and as a result it is playing fairly narrow and fairly tight, but the greens are wonderful. If a little firm, is making for one of the challenges that the golfers are facing this week, but certainly running a good speed are the greens here at Killarney Country Club. Credit to the staff who have done a wonderful job in ensuring that we do have a great golf course to play on. Kevin Racco and his team, Barry and the rest of the crew at Killarney Country Club, ensuring that the course is in pristine condition and ready for championship play. We will be chatting to Kevin Racco, the general manager of Killarney Country Club, a little later on, and finding out from him what the preparation was like there. We're going to jump ahead now to the 18th and check out some of the groups that are finishing up here. Donnie van Tondu came so close to snatching the Order of Merit title at the end of last season. Finished runner-up to JC Ritchie. And Donnie van Tondu's group looking to wrap things up. There are a few holes ahead of our lead group. Ruan Conradi and Andrew Williamson playing alongside him. All these golfers teed off on a 5 over par for the day. But Donnie van Tondu, the one who's really making a move out of the group. 2 under at this stage. Looking to close things out. And a good finish to his round. Green certainly rolling out. Plenty of speed left in them. And as I mentioned, firm and fast throughout the course of the event. And that has made for challenging golf for the pros out there. It's Anton Haig now tapping in for par on the 10th hole. He remains at 4 under for the championship. 2 under on his round today, still the eagle on the 5th hole. The only highlight for him, but done well to keep the bogeys off the card. It is tricky to ensure that you don't make mistakes on this tricky layout. And Anton's done a good job of keeping the bogeys off the card today. There's a look at the leaderboard as things stand. The lead group through 10 holes now, and it is Anton Haig who is out in front, 4 under par, 2 under on his round today. Ulrich van den Berg 3 under alongside our overnight leader Alex Heindel, who's stuck in neutral at the moment. He's on 3 under. That's what he began the day on. Just hasn't managed to get going. See what he can do over the back 9. Plenty big names in hot pursuit though. As we look further down the leaderboard, Jaco van Zyl, who was out earlier on, put together a wonderful round, a 65 from Jaco van Zyl, and that got him to 1 over for the championship. Jaden Shaper, the young prodigy, also in with a shout there, 1 over for him at the moment. And looking further down the leaderboard, a whole host of golfers, amongst them Keith Horn, the vastly experienced Keith Horn, currently 1 over on his round and 2 over for the championship. He's certainly one to watch out for, as is Dylan Naidoo, who was in with a shout after the first round. Unfortunately, didn't have the best of days yesterday, but is refusing to go away at this stage. Currently in a tie for 15th, and he is looking pretty solid at the moment. We did mention a little earlier on that Donnie van Tonder finished runner-up to JC Ritchie, who won the Sunshine Tour Order of Merit last season. OG Molefe caught up with him during lockdown.
JC, thank you for taking the time out to join us here today. Firstly, I mean, I know we've all had a tough time during the lockdown, especially being able to play golf. What have you been up to during all this time?
No, it's a pleasure, man. It's been quiet. It's been tough to keep busy. But yeah, mostly just practicing in the net I bought, doing some putting, chipping around, lots of sleep. Lots of PlayStation, and yeah, just trying to stay sane.
Yeah, what do you miss most about playing golf, man?
Just being outside with mates, and just the game itself, the challenges that the game brings, and yeah, making birdies.
Speaking about making birdies, I know the last 3 seasons for you have been spectacular. I mean, you've done really well on tour, finishing, in the top 10 of the Order of Merit in those past 3 seasons. But I guess the previous one was a bit more special for you, finishing at the top of the Order of Merit.
Definitely, yeah. I feel like it's been a long time coming. I feel like I've had a bunch of really good seasons and just missed out in the wrong events to win the Order of Merit, and this year managed to really just play well throughout the season. I mean, the last 20 weeks of our season we played 16 events and managed to play well in almost every single one of them.
And what did it mean for you? Obviously, winning the Order of Merit comes with a lot of other accolades that come with it. What did it mean for you to finally finish at the top there and being ranked the number 1 player on tour for the season?
That's special. I mean, that's one of my goals was always to win the Order of Merit, is to work from getting your card at Q School and eventually working yourself down to the top 50, top 30, top 10, and then obviously winning the Order of Merit, and then that obviously makes you feel like you can move on to bigger tours and achieve more. So yeah, to win that is so special. I'm glad I have that title under my belt.
And obviously, I think the win in Limpopo was huge for you as well, because that tournament was co-sanctioned with the Challenge Tour as well. So that card is pretty much secured for you. And I guess it's probably changed. Well, this was pre-COVID-19, of course. It probably has changed what your calendar would have looked like in your tour schedule.
Definitely. My entire year was based on how I would play in those 3 Challenge Tour events we had, and managed to play well in all of them, and obviously winning Limpopo just boosted everything, giving me a full card on the Challenge Tour. It's sad that we can't play now with the COVID stuff going around.
Yeah, man. And the one thing I know that you're doing with the tour now, obviously, COVID-19 has hit the golf industry really hard. A lot of golf clubs are suffering, and in turn, people who work at the golf clubs, the caddies, the other casual staff that work there, and you'll be, I guess, doing a raffle for people who donate to the Golf RSA Relief Fund for them to get a chance to play with you. You must be looking forward to that as well, to sort of help in any way possible.
Definitely helping anyone I can. I'd be more than grateful to help. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to meeting some people, and especially the guy who wins. And hopefully this could be a cool thing that we keep going. Hopefully a few more guys can play. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So what would be your message to people out there, especially golf fanatics? We know Golf RSA is at key meetings with the Minister of Sport and key government officials as well, trying to get golf to play once again. And I guess this is a good incentive for people to come out and be able to play with the Order of Merit winner on the Sunshine Tour.
Yeah, obviously it's still a strange feeling for me that people would want to play with me. I still feel like I'm a rookie on tour. I still feel like a youngster amongst lots of the guys, and obviously to embrace that, winning the Order of Merit and becoming someone that kids might look up to one day is special and something that we've dreamed of since we were kids.
Yeah. Finally, I mean, golf is overseas. I mean, on the PGA Tour will make a return mid-June. There's a couple of exhibition golf tournaments coming up as well. But it seems like the sport is going to look different, especially for you guys as pros.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be strange. I think it's going to be tough for us as golfers because we love having the spectators there, and it's a spectators game. So I think it's just going to be a patch that the game goes through, and I think the better we as players deal with it and try and entertain whoever's watching us at home and so on, the better the game will come back.
Fantastic. Well, JC, thank you so much, man, for taking the time out to chat to us. Good luck to you for, I guess, the rest of the new season, and we look forward to seeing you once again strutting your stuff on the fairways of South African golf.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much for the interview. That was pretty cool.
That was, of course, recorded during lockdown. OG chatting to JC Ritchie and his good friend here in action out on the course, Jaco Prinsloo. Two of them have won the team championship in back-to-back years. Fairly aggressive with the effort there from Jaco Prinsloo, but he is putting together a good round today. 3 under so far, and that through 10 holes playing the 11th. 2 under in total for the championship, and in a tie for third alongside Ulrich van den Berg. Not on my own here in our commentary box in the clubhouse here at Killarney Country Club. I am joined by Thabiso Ngcobo. Thank you so much for coming to spend a bit of time with us here in our makeshift commentary box. As you can see, there is a Perspex shield between us, so we are observing COVID protocols. Thabiso, so nice to have you in. How are you doing?
Yeah, no, doing a lot warmer than the past few days, I could say that. But yeah, doing good. It's good to be back. Been a very long time. And thanks to Betway for hosting the first tournament of the Rise Up series.
It has been a lengthy break for you guys. What did you get up to?
Well, first things first, bought myself a net just to hit into, just to keep the technical juices flowing and whatnot. But obviously it gets a bit tiring as time goes on. So yeah, got up to quite a lot of gaming, quite a lot of cooking. And yeah, I just did some gaming, some Call of Duty with some of the boys on tour, which was fun, just to keep in contact. And yeah, we're just waiting for the lockdown regulations to ease up so that we could get back and doing what we love.
It has been a lengthy delay and obviously tough to get back to playing golf again. We've just seen a birdie from Ruan Korb as he moves into red numbers for the championship. Adilson De Silva, one of the seasoned campaigners out on the Sunshine Tour. Thabiso, how tough has it been to get back into the swing of things? Obviously, it's one thing to play with friends, but it's another with card in hand. Yeah,
no, definitely. I think, you can do as much as you can technically, but nothing can replicate the competitive atmosphere. You just have to get out there and play and just see where you need to work on. And yeah, there's some guys that have been playing quite well. Some of them haven't lost their touch. And yeah, a few of the guys struggled out there this week, but at the same time, it's the first tournament. I think there's a lot still to see from everyone else.
Speaking of struggles, Adilson De Silva dropping a shot there on the 11th as he slides to 2 over for his round. Anton Haig is waiting to play his second into the 11th. Before we get to him, Jaco Prinsloo looking to just tidy things up on the green ahead of them and stay in with a shout. 2 under at this stage and 3 under on his round for the event so far. Thabiso, the course itself, how has it been for you guys? Firm and fast, I guess, is one way to describe it, as Jaco Prinsloo knocks in his putt for par there. What's it been like?
Killarney is a very tricky track. I think everyone's used to the power game and being able to hit drivers everywhere, but Killarney, you have to hit a lot of good long irons. I think you maybe will only hit driver on the par fives. I've seen some guys even just hit 3-wood. So it's a very much course management course, and you need to be patient as well. There are not a lot of birdies out there, but if you have an opportunity, it's a good time to make them.
How tough has it been to be patient when your game's maybe not as sharp as it normally is, and things are coming at you hard and fast?
Yeah, no, I think it's very easy just to lose your head around in this course, and it doesn't take much around here. You can hit some good shots, and the greens have a lot of runoff areas, and the greens are quite firm, so the wind's also been swirling the past few days, so I think it's more of just accepting and understanding that, okay, you hit a good shot, but it might have not been executed as much as you wanted it to be. And if you can up and down, as some of the top guys have been doing here, it's going to take you a long way.
Certainly proving to be pretty tricky for the guys out there in the lead group at the moment. We've seen Anton Haig go long and left, but that is an exceptional shot from Ulrich van Berg. It's absolutely dead, tucked away behind the trees there on the left-hand side. And Alex Heindel's not much better at this stage. So that's not really where you want to be on the 11th hole, is it?
No, not at all. There's some trees on the left there, and I think maybe the guys have misjudged the wind there, because it's just a 5-iron, 4-iron just to the middle of the fairway. But it is easy to run off there, and quite a tricky second shot, but with the pin at the back, it's possible to get quite close.
Not delighted with that as he finds the bunker. I think he's fairly lucky to have not run out of real estate there off the tee in the first place. The creek does cut in there, and Alex Heindel is struggling a little bit at the moment, but managing to keep things together. Still 3 under, level par for the championship, and OG is out on the course next to the 18th at the moment.
Thank you, Richie. Tough day out, as we can see behind me on the 18th. Keenan Davidson just trying to avoid one of the swans, but someone who went under par today and played very well is Darren Fichardt. Danny, a good way to finish the tournament for you?
Yeah, quite happy with the 2 under. First tournament in a couple of months. Feels good to be back. Course is tough. This course has always been tough, but it's a good day.
And I guess the scores clearly show that. I mean, for you to go under par today, you must be happy with that.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy. I mean, there was a few putts that should have gone in. I had a few horseshoes on, but happy with that. So next week, Lindau Corn White, so maybe we can go low there.
Yeah, having spent 5 months away, you guys must be happy to be back on playing competitive golf once again?
Yeah, no, very happy. I mean, we appreciate the sponsors of doing the sponsorships, to allow us to have tournaments and everything. And I mean, the government also to give us the go-ahead to start and playing and everything, And I mean, being 3 months off and not being able to practice or anything, I thought it was going to be quite hard to get back into it, but it was actually easy.
Lovely, man. We look forward to see you during the Rise Up series, and good luck for Glendower next week.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks very much to OG and Donnie van Tonda, who signed for a 68 a little while ago and has moved up to 11th overall and 3 over for the championship. Not the sort of spot Anton Haig wants to leave himself in from the fairway, and has got a bit of work to do there as he looks to try and make his par and stay out in front. Alex Heindel, who is closest to catching him 3 under, but a bit more room to work with. Tabiso, not the easiest of shot for Alex here.
No, not at all, but I'd say, yeah, definitely a lot more room to work with there compared to Anton there. But as you can see, yeah, he didn't play a bad shot, but the runoff areas, if it goes a bit too strong there, that's what happens.
Had a little look at the pins out there this morning, and 11 was certainly one of the tougher ones, a little bit tucked and doesn't give you too much room for error there, as we can see. If you are out of position, you are in trouble, and I guess that's a common theme around Killarney Country Club, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a course where you need to manage your misses. I think, there are places you can miss, but it's very, very small amount of misses on the green, especially here on 11. Anything long, it's a tough up and down, and yeah, like the rough is quite thin. It being winter and it being firm, so they are into the grain as well, and yeah, there's a lot of poana on the greens as well. So there's a lot you need to pay attention to, as we'll see with Alex Handel here.
Looks like he's got the putter out, a play that you're not against.
No, not at all. Definitely not at Killarney. There was no way I think you'd be that close with any kind of wedge, no matter how good your hands are. So I think it's a really good, really good, how do I say, management. Just, compounding the error.
Possibly a lesson for amateurs as well. They often pull out the 60 or the 58 or something high loft
something
like that and try and get cute with it.
Yeah, no, I mean, we see these shots on the PGA Tour, people like Phil playing flop shots and, amateurs thinking they can do the same, but it's not easy, and especially here in the winter, there's hardly any grass. So, yeah, I think the putter, you'll see a lot of the pros here putting from off the green.
Tippy, so is that a sort of an approach that you guys are reasonably happy with having to do if you are in a position like that? I mean, you guys have got the skill set to be able to use your wedges in different ways, but are you happy to have to resort to that?
Yeah, I think the main thing, I mean, if you really want to compete out here, is that, you need to know your strengths. And I think putting, especially around here, you're definitely going to make more up and downs from putting off the green than having to chip. And yeah, I think, as we see here with Anton, like he was in a very bad place from the bunker. Not to say that he could have putted out of the bunker, but being in the wrong place. I think putting, we don't like it. We'd much rather just chip. But I think, you just have to work with what works best. And the putter is the best player.
It's unfortunately going to turn out to be a dropped shot for Anton Haig, and that's a dropped opportunity for Ulrich van den Berg. A ridiculously good recovery shot after he was out of position off the tee here at 11 and not cashing in on the birdie attempt there. Still a par for him. No harm, no foul, as he remains at 3 under. Anton Haig now to drop to 3 under. I guess birdie opportunities are few and far between here at Killarney Country Club, and when they do come along, you got to take them.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, everyone looks at the par 5s as the only opportunities, and there are a few par 4s that are gettable, but I think at the same time, Killarney forces you to hit the good shots, and when you have the opportunity, as Ulrich just had, you got to take them.
That's the bogey for Anton Haig. He drops to 3 under par, and we do have a tie now at the top of the leaderboard. Alex Handel has finished up though, but he has dropped a shot as well, and it is still Anton Haig now in front. 3 under par for him, and giving away one of the shots that he picked up a little earlier on with an eagle on the 5th, as he slides back 1 now. I guess it's fairly tough to play completely fault-free golf here. There are mistakes to be made out there.
No, definitely. I don't think you should be too upset if you do make a drop shot around here. It is going to happen sometime in the round or in the tournament week. But I think what's the main thing is how you bounce back from that drop shot. And so if you can make birdie or like even a par after the drop shot, I think it's a good positive momentum to take on for the next couple of holes.
So if you are in that sort of position where you are out in front like Anton, you are watching what's going on around you, how much does that play on your emotions, having got yourself into a great position and maybe given one back now? Are you watching what the other guys are doing and trying to console yourself in that it's maybe not the end of the world?
Yeah, I think it's very important to be aware of what's happening around you, but also at the same time just controlling what you can control. And I'm sure Anton's more experienced enough to know that, it's still his tournament to win. He's still in a good position. And if he plays the good golf he's been playing, that, he'll come out on top. And I don't think, let's say if someone does make a birdie when he didn't make a birdie, or he made a drop as soon as someone else made a drop, I think it's very easy to become complacent with that. And, okay, you made a drop shot, but at the same time, I think it's important to bounce back and play the golf you've been playing and not really playing someone else's game at the end of the day.
As you mentioned, vastly experienced, 97 Sunshine Tour events for him. This man, though, is in a league of his own. 417 Sunshine Tour events he's pegged it up in. Just a remarkable record. 7 wins, Ulrich van den Berg. He's in with a hip operation and played a limited schedule, but is just about back to his best now as that just trickles through the fairway. It is a common theme this week, isn't it? The course is playing narrow. It's trickling off fairways, it's running straight through.
Yeah, I think you need to play for maybe 10 to 20 meters of roll, especially when it's downwind. Yeah, bit of an aggressive player from Anton. Yeah, we've done this in the practice round where you hit driver on 12 and you can get quite close, but it is so narrow there. You most of the time gonna score by hitting middle fairway and having a wedge in, then hitting driver.
How much is that club choice due to what happened on the previous hole, dropping a shot?
Oh, no, I think that's perfectly due from what happened the previous hole. It's kind of trying to force the issue of, trying to bounce back as quickly as you can. But at the same time, I mean, he didn't really need to do that. But yeah, let's just see where he ends up, I guess.
Club off the handle for Alex Heindel, but still in a good position. That's also going to trickle just through the fairway, really, but not out of position. Coming to that pin, which is tucked slightly right on 11. Guess you want to be on the left-hand side, give yourself an easier look into that pin.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think definitely iron off the play is the way to go. But yeah, maybe Anton knows something we don't, so I guess we'll see.
It is a super aggressive play from Anton Haig, hitting driver off the tee on the 12th hole. And he is 3 under par and leading at this stage, a one-shot advantage over his playing partners, Ulrich van den Berg and Alex Heindel, while Jaco Prinsloo, who's in match number 14, a group ahead of them, is on 2 under. Look out for Darren Fichardt as well, currently in a tie for 5th on 1 under. And going along nicely, he's a few groups ahead and a few holes ahead of them. He's through 14 at this stage, but certainly one to watch out for. Jaco van Zyl showed us a little earlier on that there is a low number out there, 5 under par for him, and that vaulted him into the top 10. It happens so quickly, doesn't it? You pick up a shot or two here, and you jump places up the leaderboard.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, if you could shoot level par even, you're definitely gaining on the field. I think this is probably the highest cut you'll ever see at a Sunshine Tour event. So, yeah, I think if you can hold your head high and just shoot around level, like under par is really good scores around here. So I think it's well done to the guys here, especially to Jaco van Zyl.
Just to have a look then at how things stand through 11 holes of the Betway Championship, the final round scores. Anton Haig is the man out in front, 3 under par in total, 1 under on his round, and that's a one-shot advantage over Jaco Prinsloo, Ulrich van den Berg and Alex Heindel.
Betway brings you 24/7 endless entertainment. Available anywhere, anytime. With classic roulette, exciting money wheels, exhilarating card games, and rapid rolls of the dice, giving you even more chances to win your way. Visit betway.co.za and play today.
Well, Thabiso Ndlobo, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to let you go and let you get on with proceedings. It wasn't the week you would have hoped for, I'm sure, but another opportunity again next week at Glendower.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely a power course next week. I definitely see a lot more low scoring and hopefully some low scoring from me as well. But thanks for having me. And thanks to Betway for hosting this event. And yeah, looking forward to seeing everyone and competing next week.
Well, lovely to have you join us. Thank you very much, Thabiso. Really do appreciate your time and coming to spend a bit of time with us in the commentary box today. We've got a whole bunch of people joining us throughout the course of the day, and we'll be keeping you entertained as we close out the final round of the Betway Championship, the first event of the new Rise Up series, 5 events in total, and a new opportunity for the Sunshine Tour professionals to compete once again after a 6-month break due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Eternally grateful to the new sponsors who have come on board. Betway in particular, who have joined us for the first event back. And there's Oliver Bekker, who we will be hearing from in just a little bit as well, wrapping up his round today. And good to see Ollie out and competing alongside Greg Bentley and Henny O'Kennedy, who came through the Big Easy IGT Tour last season. And certainly looks like one to watch out for. Thank you so much as well for joining us for our live stream of the final round of the Betway Championship. We are live on DSTV now, as well as the Sunshine Tours Facebook page and the YouTube channel. That is how you can follow us throughout the course of the afternoon as we wrap up proceedings in the final round of the Betway Championship.
Ollie, great to be back. You guys have been out for a couple of months. How the competitive juice is actually flowing in your body throughout this week?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, this was quite a test this week. Playing on Wednesday morning, I think the real feel was like -9 or something. It was like welcome back to golf. But I mean, it was good just to be back out playing and shake off a bit of the rust. And I used to kind of get me ready for next week and hopefully hit a couple of good shots and get going in the right direction.
Great for the tour to actually put together the Rise Up series for you guys to actually have some golf to play during this week.
Definitely, it's been tough sitting at home the last 6 months, watching golf on TV, but not being able to play yourself. And so I'm very happy and thankful for the tour and Betway this week helping out and getting something together for us.
Obviously, with the COVID-19 and things have to be a little bit different. You guys were scoring quite differently this week. No scorecards, but you have to do everything digital.
Yes, yeah. I've got the phone out, my scorecard here, ready to sign and everything. Yeah, it's been interesting, and the tour's made a lot of changes and a lot of good changes. And yeah, maybe even going forward, this could be a permanent system for us to use. We never know.
Thank you, Ollie. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Well, Richie, as you heard there, of course, the players not having scorecards this week, everything having to be done digitally on their phones, and that's been something that quite a few of them have had to get used to this week.
Thanks, OG. Yeah, it certainly has been something that they've had to contend with and adjust to this week, but it is one of the things that we have had to contend with. A new way forward, a new way to keep players safe during the COVID-19 pandemic, as we look to continue professional golf here in South Africa. The first event back in the 2020-2021 Sunshine Tour season, the first event of the new Rise Up series, the Betway Championship, and this the final round at Killarney Country Club.
It's been very difficult. I mean, the first couple of months, first 2 or 3 months, it was heaven. It's got time to spend time at home with the kids and the family, and I haven't had that for years and years and years. So that actually was a pleasure. And then I'd say the last 2 months has been a real grind, and it's been difficult to stay motivated, not knowing when we're going to come back. You start off training everything at the beginning of lockdown, and then after a few months, you're like, well, this might be for another year. So very difficult to stay motivated, but very happy to be back.
Obviously, there was no expectations. I don't know if you guys can remember, I always used to wear straps on my arms and my back. So just after tour times, I went for an operation on my left arm and my back, and I was out for about 3 months. So the lockdown was good for me. Yes, obviously excited to play, and I just want to say thank you to Betway for sponsoring our first event. And the Sunshine Tour for the great job they're doing. But I'm very chuffed just to be back.
I think we've played golf probably about 2 months now, and that little period of adjustment is kind of over. I feel like we're all used to everything except now the scoring and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just our hearts goes out to everyone who's struggling with COVID-19 and the pandemic, and all the health workers and everyone involved. And we're just trying to give some people some joy with the golf that we're playing.
Unbelievable opportunity that they've created for us, having these events, and looking forward to a great relationship with the tour going forward.
Good to hear from all the golfers competing in the Betway Championship here at Killarney Country Club. I have managed to pull in one of the golfers who teed off a little earlier on to join me in the commentary box today. Richard Masborough joined alongside Jared Harvey now. Jared, thank you so much for joining us today.
Richie, thanks a lot for having me. Obviously, thanks to Betway, first and foremost, for allowing us this great event. And the first of many of the Rise Up Series Challenge events that are coming our way. So great to be here. Great to be back playing. We obviously didn't really know when we were going to officially be playing. But yeah, shake off the rust and we're back and managed to get 3 rounds under the belt, which was nice to do this morning. And yeah, happy to be back.
We are, of course, observing COVID protocols. There's perspex between us, keeping Jared and I our safe distance. But Jared, you mentioned being back. How tough was it to try and shake off the rust after a really long layoff for you?
It was tough because, like a few of the guys were mentioning there earlier, you didn't specifically know when you were going to come back. You know, it was always kind of a bit of a waiting game. It was, you know, it could potentially be April, it could be May, June, you know. So I think a lot of the guys were maybe thrown off that were stuck with routines. They like to kind of set how they're going to practice and work throughout, you know, leading up to all the tournaments, maybe come up a bit earlier or, you know. So preparation-wise, I'm sure it had its challenges for everyone. But, yeah, I mean, I think this whole Rise Up series has been really good. I think it's been great that they've, you know, put a lot together. I think being in the Johannesburg area, it's made most sense with most of the guys all coming from here. Obviously a Durban boy, but it made the most sense. And, yeah, missing home already. It's been only a couple of days. I'm back, right back into full swing of tour life. But, yeah, nice to be here in Josie.
Thank you, Richie. I've got Neil Schietekat with me. Skitty, you must be happy to be back out playing competitive golf again.
Yeah, you know, it's awesome to be out here again. Get some juices flowing, some competitive juices. It was really fun being out here again, and obviously we haven't made a check in a while, so you know, even though it's going to be a small one this week for myself, at least it's something.
And what was it like? I mean, that first tee for you, getting out once again, and you know, having to remember what it's like to actually be out here competing.
Yeah, you know, this is what we live for, you know, us golfers, and you know, there's so many guys out here that love the sport, and for us to get up there again on the first tee. I mean, I think the last time I played was probably 5 or 6 months ago in Malaysia. It was probably 48 degrees, and when I teed off on Wednesday, it was probably -9. So a little bit different, but you know, all good, and trying to get that little white ball in the hole.
Nothing like a frozen green to welcome you back.
Yeah, let me tell you something. That was probably the coldest I've ever been on a golf course. But, you know, we're out here playing, so, you know, you can't complain. And it's just, we would have taken that 3 months ago to play in -9 conditions. So, yeah, it was just nice to be out there again.
Well, listen, Skitty, we look forward to seeing you for the rest of the series, and thanks again.
Cool, thank you very much.
All right, good. Back to you, Rich.
Jared, he did touch on it, but it was frosty on Wednesday morning. Bitterly cold, bit of a shock to the system, I'm sure, for you. I don't know where Skitty got -9. The real feel was -11 here on Wednesday morning. Not exactly what you're used to coming from KZN.
No, not exactly, Rich. I think that was probably the best, I would say, winter we've had in KZN in a long time. I think it's beautiful, those kind of months of the year where you've got, you know, hardly any wind, and yeah, really, really nice down in Durbs. It was a good shock to the system. I was fortunate enough I came up a few weeks earlier just to have a look at a few of the courses and got prepped. But I don't think you can get really too prepared what was awaiting the fellas the other day. I think I was quite fortunate I was in the afternoon the first day. I only heard the reports and the war stories, should we say, from that morning round. So, yeah, I mean, welcome back to the Frost and Joburg and all of those wonderful things, man. Yeah.
It is difficult, I guess, for you guys to have to contend with those sort of conditions. There does seem to this week be a right side and a wrong side of the draw. How have you adapted to having to deal with that?
Well, most times the coastal kind of places is where that draw comes into a lot of effect when you know, going down to kind of the Humewood, PE region, especially Cape Town, Durban, a draw kind of factor is quite important. You wouldn't have really assumed this kind of year and this kind of feel in Johannesburg as of, you know, late. but yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty evident to see the guys that got that morning draw the first day. I think they definitely paid the price for teeing off early. Obviously, they didn't have their choice, but switching on the app early on that Wednesday morning to see hardly anyone under par, it was quite a shock to the system to see. Well, the boys were rusty, but I kind of thought, geez, were the boys that rusty, So yeah, it was definitely the right side of the draw had its play this week.
Yeah, you wouldn't have expected those numbers early on, and still playing incredibly tough. You were out there earlier on. You wrapped up your performance with rounds of 75, 71, 73. How is it playing today versus the first two rounds?
I thought today was a great mixture of, testing your ability, most days you assume the final rounds they're always going to put all the tees at the back and tuck all the pins. I think they've realised with the conditions this week playing so firm and fast that they couldn't have put everything on the back tees. It would have eventually turned into a bouncy ball show, should we call that, at some stage. So yeah, I think it was a great mixture today. A couple of the tees are up today, as you can see a few out there now with the guys. Yeah, I mean, this 14th hole was a perfect example. I mean, it's quite a tuck pin there in that right-hand corner from this morning. But fortunately enough, 6, 7 iron today for the guys. When you got a guy like Dylan there, it'd probably be about an 8 iron, let me tell you. Makes you definitely feel like you're a bit of a pea shoot off the tee, let me tell you, Rich.
The par threes here they're strong. They're strong par threes. They test you guys. There's no pushover here in terms of the shorter holes, and this being one of them as well. That the good miss, I guess, for where the guys are looking to leave it.
Absolutely. I mean, I like a testing kind of par 3 that isn't necessarily a 3 iron to almost test you. You don't have to make it over 200 meters, and this kind of hole here is a perfect example today. You can push it up to 170, 180 odd today, and you can see a highly skilled golfer like Jaden Shaper there, paying the price, hunting the pin there. So yeah, good strong par 3s, good strong course, Rich. It's played really, really tough this week. I haven't played a course playing this firm and fast in a very long time in my years out. I think you can see it in the scoring as well.
Did you guys, before you got here, look back at past results here? They had the big easy IGT event here last year as well, and the winning score was 4 under. Did you guys sort of suss that out and have a look at what might be good enough this week?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can always tell that a course is going to be tough when you've got so much traffic and events through there. And I mean, a -4 winning total is always going to, let you know, obviously the RGT Tour, and then you've got your Sunshine Tour. But I mean, that was a decent indicator. I mean, -4 these days, are struggling to make cuts most times on the winter series these days. I mean, the guys are really, really good out here now. So I mean, when you see a winning score like that, you're in for a real tough course and challenge for the week.
Well, -4 at this stage is looking to be pretty handy. A bit of a log jam at the moment. 5 golfers tied on 2 under par. Darren Fichardt, Jaco Prinsloo, Ulrich van den Berg, Anton Hagen, Alex Heindel. Jared, if you look at that leaderboard, it's not guys who lash the ball. It's guys who plot their way around, who are more sort of strategic thinkers than you would normally get at the top of leaderboards.
Absolutely. I mean, when you see a setup of this type of week, you're generally going to go to your more kind of solid players. For example, today I played with Jaco van Zyl. I mean, he put an absolute clinic on today. I mean, he shot, I think, 5 under. It's probably the round of the day so far, and I don't think that will be beaten. We'll obviously wait to see. But Jaco was a perfect example today. I mean, he just plotted his way around this golf course absolutely perfectly. When the flags were tucked today, he knew that, there were just certain ones that he just couldn't go at, and he just completely managed his game so well today, and I was thoroughly impressed. So yeah, if you kind of look at the guys on the top, I mean, Anton's been playing some good golf. He's a personal friend of mine, so I've known for a while now he's been playing some good golf, and he's due something good. I mean, you don't win on the European Tour if you obviously don't know what you're doing. I think Anton's had his struggles the last couple of years or so, but I think he's due something good
Does
the
have a
corner soon.
remarkable record here at Killarney as well. I mean, he played in 2018. He finished tied 8th here in the Big Easy IGT. Finished tied 9th in 2017, and certainly has the experience and knowledge of how to plot his way around this course.
Absolutely, and I mean, you know, it just shows you. I mean, you've got your power hitter in a guy like Anton, but you know, you've got a couple of the older statesmen that are making their claim again, that are the solid type of players at the top of the leaderboard. So it's going to make for an exciting finish, because, you know, with the power that Anton's got, there's a good solid par 5 coming up there today. I mean, if you want to be aggressive, you can take it right over those trees. You can turn it into a real short par 5 today. So it's a great blend, these last finishing holes that await the players. It depends how confident and aggressive you want to be.
Yeah, there are certainly opportunities to score, as Jared says, if you are willing to take it on. Ruan Korb has also been impressive so far this week. Rounds of 68 and 72. Currently 1 under for proceedings today. And that for par for Ruan Korb, as he remains at 1 under. And just one of 6 golfers in red figures at this stage of proceedings.
Nice. Thought he was messaging his girlfriend.
What it means to me is that I'm able to live out my dream of competing out here on a weekly basis in different places, playing against the best, just not in South Africa, but as well as in the whole of Africa and other people that travel from Europe and America, as it is a world tour. You know, everyone enjoys hitting a pure shot, so just the enjoyment that comes from that. But I think, you know, golf's not a game of perfect, and I kind of see it as living out how you would live in life. So there's a lot of life lessons to learn from golf, and I take that from the course to life scenarios, and it's helped me get this far so far.
We did hear from Thabiso Ntobo a little bit earlier on. Good to get his thoughts on how the Sunshine Tour is currently going. Nice to see them back and in action here. Anton Haig made a bit of a mess of the last few holes or so. Has dropped a shot or two. But that's a good effort from him, and a good spot on 13.
Really good spot. Anytime you're under the hole here, you take that and run. It's actually a good hole today. They've pushed the tee up a little bit, so the guys need to be careful of their tee box today. If they're not too aggressive, you can run through into that potential hazard that's waiting for you at the bottom. But that's a great second under the hole.
Another solid golfer who's he's always there and thereabouts, isn't he, Peter Khamis?
Absolutely, and I mean, he's a good chat as well. He thinks a little bit outside the box. So any guy who's down for a good chat with old Peter before you tee off, he's definitely worth 5 or 10 minutes of your time. I really enjoy getting his thoughts and his different views on things. Kind of I don't know, I'd maybe say kind of a bit of our Bryson DeChambeau kind of type of figure on our tour. You know, he kind of likes to do things his own way, and he's got, you know, certain different beliefs about how the game should be played, and I like that he owns it. You know, very intelligent guy and plots his way around a golf course pretty damn well. Yeah.
There are a couple of guys out there, aren't there, that really do think about the game differently. How helpful for you to play with guys like that, to not necessarily follow what they do, but maybe just open your mind, expand your experiences a little bit more?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, golf, everyone's got their own, you know, beliefs and ways how they want to play the game, and that's the best advice I can give for the new guys now that are just, you know, got their cards recently, that you got to kind of own your own swing and own your own game. You know, I've seen it throughout the years that a lot of the guys try and, you know, mix up how they, you know, change my swing because, you know, the top players do this or they work on that. You know, it's a fine balance of still recognizing who you are and what you're finding your own identity and owning it and doing it, you know.
Keegan Thomas tapping in for par there on 18, and he'll finish up 5 over for the day and 9 over for the championship. Might sound like a lot of shots, but that's still good enough for a tie for 33rd at the moment. Been brutally tough out there, and Callum Moats looking to finish up on maybe 5 under par if he can knock this one in for birdie.
Looks like it took a bit of a hop there. it's been a bit of a theme this week. I think it's caught out a few of the guys this week that, you know, they've kind of thought that they've got the line right, and it'll take the odd little bounce, the odd little hop, and it can really have its effect this week or on these type of greens.
How does that play in your mind if you do know that that is potentially going to happen? Do you get slightly more defensive than normal?
You would, yeah, because it's quite a different balance, because the greens are kind of quick in general, but they've kind of got the odd bumps here and there. So, you know, you don't want to leave yourself too many long putts, especially coming down the stretch. It's going to get tight for these boys. So, yeah, interesting times here. Alex is keeping it solid. I mean, he's pretty much your man for a type of championship at, you know, this kind of the way things are set up this week. He would be one of my certain picks for a week like this. You know, Alex is just so solid. He plots his way so nicely around the course. He's not going to overpower a golf course. He's precision type of player. And you can see in most of the pattern this week, that seems to be your go-to man at the top.
2 under at the moment for Alex Heindel, and in a tie for the lead. Very much a bunched leaderboard as things stand here at Killarney Country Club. Ulrich van den Berg with a great effort there. Good putt from him, and really making a bit of a charge on the back nine.
Looking very Gary Player-esque today in this all black, old Uli. Didn't waste no time there. Maybe that's his new theory, you know. Certainly worked on that putt. Great putt.
Anton now with a good opportunity to potentially pick up a shot on the rest of the field. A good second for him has given him a nice look at birdie here.
Yeah, I think it's time now. Anton needs to settle down a little bit. I think this would be quite big for him to make. Just to kind of steady the ship a little bit.
Not happy with that off the bat.
He rushed that a little bit for Anton. Just needs to keep his head. Can be quite fiery at times.
Still a par, no harm, no foul. Stays at 2 under.
Sure.
But a couple of other guys are moving, and opportunities, as we mentioned, don't come along all that often here at Killarney Country Club. And you maybe think that one was one that he let go.
Yeah, would have been good to steady the ship, but he's still in a good position. And he's got that par 5 in the next hole or two to come, and I'd like to see him maybe take it on.
Peter Kalmus making a bit of a mess of things here on 18, short with his second into the green, and now looking to try and limit the damage.
He seems to be quite one of the few guys that are leaving the pins in from short range. I haven't seen many guys do this. He played in front of me. Ooh. Yeah. Bit of a tough finish for Pete.
Yeah, that's not ideal. But I guess, as you say, if you step up and maybe don't take the necessary time that you need to gather your thoughts and collect your composure, those sort of things can happen.
That's the type of week this could be, Rich. You know, when the guys are coming down the stretch, you know, he's maybe had a bit of a tough day. It can definitely weigh on you around here for all 3 days. It demands a lot of your focus and your concentration. And obviously Pete there, you know, got him just a touch there towards the end. Should have taken that pin out, let me tell you, man. I think it was all that pin.
How tough is it when guys are playing alongside you and they've got the pin and you don't? How tough is it to deal with that?
It's kind of tricky, though, more in the caddy type of sense, because they need to kind of ask you the questions, because they're the ones usually pulling it out or wanting to leave it in. So it does get a little bit tricky. It takes a little bit of time. Some guys want it in, some guys want it out. So yeah, I think it's something to just monitor that can, you know, add a couple extra minutes to each round. But yeah, I think the general type of consensus is the guys are leaving it in from long range and taking it out from short. That's kind of the pattern that I've seen with most guys. Yeah, try and stop those rolling balls, you know.
Looks like still very much a logjam at the top of the leaderboard. Darren Fichardt certainly working on the low round of the championship. 5 under at the moment through 16.
Wow.
That's a remarkable performance from Darren. Another experienced campaigner and very much in the mix here.
Yeah, I mean, just a class play in the field, Darren, you know, European Tour player. Nice to see a couple of the European Tour players, you know, still supporting and being out here this week. I think it's been it's given a nice flavour to the event, especially being the first one. And a guy like Darren, you know, you're never going to be shocked to see him on top of the leaderboard. Just a great player.
Going to head out now to the 14th for match number 14. Jared, it looks like Rowan Korb here might have got the number wrong off the tee.
Yeah, I think if you want to take it on those top shelves, your first bounce is always going to be so firm. I mean, the guy's hitting 6 or 7 on there. It was always bound to more than likely go over the green. It's a tricky now. I had this putt from back of that green this morning. It's actually pretty fast from the top there. So interesting to see how he's going to pull this one off, because he's going to have to get this pretty spot on.
Looks like he's got a 3-wood there to try and sort of bump it onto the green, but tough to control how hot this comes out.
Yeah, and he's done, looks like he's done pretty well.
Yeah, that is a pretty good effort from there.
Effort, yeah. In the I mean, I've seen quite a lot of guys this week around the greens going 3-woods, a lot more putters than you usually have seen. It's just kind of the way the course is felt and played throughout the week, you know. Yeah, I quite like that play. I've always been one for never to hurry and go grab the wedge in a hurry. So I mean, I would have been, you know, I would have been interested in a shot like that. I think he's pulled that off well.
I guess conditions are slightly variable as well. You don't know what you're going to get, what sort of interaction you'll have with the turf. If your wedge is going to dig, maybe puffs a little bit. I guess that's something you have to consider.
Absolutely. I think the guys are just second guessing themselves this week because they're scared of the bounce and what it's actually going to do with their chips. If it could pull up and you know, grab, or as opposed to actually just bouncing on and running on. So I think the guys are trying to, you know, just keep it running and rolling early.
Adilson De Silva struggling here on the 14th. This for par for him on the par 3. Just goes to show you how quickly you can get out of position on this course. But he should be able to tap that in. But he's going to drop another shot at least. And Adilson struggling at 2 over for his round today and 1 over for the championship. And that having started very much in with the shout of potentially walking away with another tour title here at Killarney Country Club. But there's a reasonable look. That's the sort of look that you'll get maybe a little bit further back from the tee on 14 here, as we look to see if Adilson can tidy up for his bogey here. Yeah, it is another drop shot for Adilson. Not ideal for him. 2 over. Another drop shot goes to 3 over and 2 over for the championship there. Still plenty of time to get it back, but that does still leave him inside the top 10 here. That's just how tough conditions have been at Killarney Country Club. Jaco Prinsloo was very much in the hunt early on. Got it going quite quickly. 3 under par on his round before he got to this tee box. Looks to have given himself a great look at birdie here. Potentially get it to 3 under for the championship, 4 under on his round.
That is a perfect example of who you need to copy in a putting stroke. Slowly back, nicely through. But unfortunately pulled it, caught me out.
Does drift a little bit to the left though, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I think it caught out actually 2 of my playing partners today as well, where they kind of thought it was off the left and it did the same thing right to left. I think it's kind of going up the hill in almost the opposite way, which is throwing the guys off.
It does look to be a little bit of a ridge, sort of almost running from the spine of that bunker across the green, potentially throwing it towards the middle of the green.
Yeah. This would be a terrific up and down. Nice to see a left-hander out. You don't see many of them.
They do look classier, don't they?
They do, yeah. There's something different about it. It does look quite nice, hey?
Yeah, Jared, as you mentioned, that is a heck of an up and down from being really out of position on the back of the 14th green there. To get up and down from there. Just really, really good effort from Rowan as he stays 1 under for the championship, 1 under on his round today, and that through 14 holes.
Leaving the pin in as well. Maybe being slightly above the hole here. I think it's more of a mental thing for the guys. Maybe stop that ball if they can hit it a little too firm. Solid stroke.
Well done. That's a par for Jaco Prinsloo. Probably would have liked to have had a birdie there, but no such joy for him. But still remaining in with a sharp 3 under on his round today and 2 under for the championship. Ulrich did make a birdie on the 13th hole as he steps up onto the 14th tee now. He is the man out in solo possession of the lead and currently a one-shot advantage over Darren Fichardt, Jaco Prinsloo, Anton Haig and Alex Heindel. Not the best of efforts from him there. Jared, what are the guys generally hitting off the tee here?
Yeah, I was just thinking that myself now. I mean, it was a 7-iron for me earlier on. I was debating between 7 and 6. I think maybe warmer now, you could probably find guys will be out with a 7. I think that'll take the back out of play. It would be the safer kind of club, I would suggest, for most of the guys. As you can see, pitching it on that top shelf, it is just a little too much for... I'd say probably Alex would have gone maybe 6 there and trying to hit a slight little fade left to right in there. But as you can see, you pitch it anything past the flag and over the green she goes.
Very much a two-tier green there as well. You start flirting with anything around the top of it and you can get that sort of bounce as we just saw from Alex, and I'd assume from Ruan as well, who probably went flag hunting there. What does Anton do with this one though?
I would have kind of thought this would suit Anton's shape. He hits it generally quite high and he takes it in left to right. But I think he looks like he's got the juices flowing a little bit, Anton. And he looks like he's going to hit it quite far. And with a guy with a lot of power like that, I think, you know, Anton could maybe club down a little bit coming down the stretch, I would think.
Ahead now to Darren Fichardt, who's making a bit of a run at things. This for his par, and he remains at 5 under, just 1 off the pace, 2 under in total. It was always going to happen, wasn't it? Somebody like Jaco, like Darren, was going to post a number, put a bit of pressure on the guys.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like anything in golf. I mean, if you're keeping it in play off the tee and you know, finding most of the greens and make the odd couple of putts here and there, I mean, you could always score. So there was always going to be a score out there today. It was just the guys that were going to really need to keep it as solid as can be. But you know, European Tour stars kind of showing, you know, what they can do towards the back end, and you know, warming up now. They've got a few rounds under the belt, so there's no surprise with a guy like Darren, you know, coming right through now.
Yeah, nice to see him in with a shout of proceedings. This ahead to the 18th, and Dylan Naidoo looking to tidy up, but that's not to be.
Nice to see a few new faces, Rich, on the tour. It's always, you kind of get very used to the certain guys that you know each and every year. But, you know, it's nice to see the guys getting younger. It seems like it is, you know. The guys are hungrier, younger, some nice fresh faces that I haven't seen before this week. And nice approachable guys. So, yeah, I mean, nice to see a few fresh faces. A guy like Dylan Naidoo posted a real good number the first day I saw him being interviewed when I went and signed my card. And it was nice to see a different face. Nice to see a guy up there and spoke well and confidently, and, you know, probably very early in his professional career. It's nice to see the guys where they feel comfortable in their surroundings already. And that's been the biggest notice I've seen.
Absolutely. Well, Jared, it's been awesome to have you in the booth with us. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate your time. Well done on the week. It was much needed for you. Really proud of the way you played. Well done. We look forward to seeing your progress in Glendower next week.
Perfect. Thanks, Rich. Thanks for having me. Nice. Thanks to Betway, obviously, again. Thoroughly enjoyed my week. Nice to get 3 rounds under the belt, and let's see if we can pick it up a bit next week and really start getting in the mix here.
Well done. Thank you very much, Jared Harvey, for joining us today in the commentary booth. Nice to get his thoughts on how things have been panning out here in the final round of the Betway Championship. Really good to see. Here's Ulrich van den Berg on the 14th, and a bit of work for him to do here. If he's to stay out in front, a one-shot advantage for Ulrich van den Berg at this stage of proceedings. 2 under through 13 holes so far, and plenty of work here to do if he's to get up and down on this par 3. Came out a little hot there. Assume it wasn't the best of lies that he had in that bunker. Might have just plugged in there, and Ulrich's going to have a bit of work to do if he's to stay out in front as things stand at the moment. 2 balls in the bunker on the back of 14. Alex Heindel here, first to play. Anton Haig, the other man who's in the bunker alongside him. And nicely done from Alex here, as he looks to stay at 2 under par. Really is musical chairs here in the commentary box, but a familiar voice and a very familiar face to all of us fans of the Sunshine Tour. Oliver Bekker joining us today. Oliver, thank you so much for coming in to have a chat with us.
Cool, thanks Richard. Thanks for having me. I see it's a little bunched up on the leaderboard at the moment.
It's making for an exciting finish here. Anton Haig as he tries to get out of the bunker there, and that's nicely done.
Great shot.
14 is one of the trickier holes. Seems to be fairly tough. The guys bouncing it off the green. Looks to be pretty tough to try and keep a ball on the green and below the hole.
Yeah, it's the wind swirling around quite a bit. When I played the hole, it was into, luckily, so mine landed softly. I actually birdied 14, which is one of the better holes I had out there today. But it is quite tough to hit that green, especially it's a good pin placement there as well.
I was chatting to Jared Harvey now about how the par 3s here are really challenging holes. They're strong par 3s at Killarney Country Club.
Yes, definitely. If you can play the par 3s well this week, you'll definitely pick up a few shots on the field. They're quite long, and the greens being so firm, it's quite tough to get it close.
Yeah, Ollie, thank you very much for joining us in our makeshift commentary booth here
there we go.
in the clubhouse at Killarney Country Club. Wonderful to have golf back, wonderful to have professional golf back, and the Sunshine Tour Rise Up series is providing those opportunities for you guys.
Yeah, it's great to be playing again. We've been off for almost 6 months, so yeah, it's lovely to be back, and thanks for Betway and the Sunshine Tour for putting on a few events for us.
Nice to see the seasoned campaigners up towards the top of the leaderboard, although Ulrich van den Berg having a few troubles here on 14.
Yeah, and he's not in the hole yet, so he's going to have to grind out a bogey there.
I'm glad you mentioned grind. How tough is it out there?
Well, let's just say US Open was a very similar experience to this.
Firm and fast, and I get the feeling that for the guys coming from the southern parts of South Africa, this is a bit of a shock to the system.
Definitely. I'm down in George at the moment, and the golf courses are in pristine condition, and the conditions have been absolutely unbelievable. And coming up to Joburg again, you kind of forget what it's like playing winter golf up here. But it makes for interesting golf, that's for sure.
Alex Heindel's going to drop a shot there and slide down to 1 under par for the championship and level on his round today. That not ideal for him, but potentially not going to lose too much ground on the rest of the field with Ulrich van den Berg in a spot of bother here as well. He needs this to drop just 1 shot here.
Oh, wow, yeah. If he drops a shot, then it's really bunched up again. So, luckily he's got the par 5 coming up next. They're very reachable. So, I wouldn't be surprised if there were a few eagles out there today on number 15. So, good
he
save.
was slightly worried about that for a second, was Uli, but just 1 dropped shot for him, and now a whole bunch of golfers at 2 under par. Amongst them, Ulrich van den Berg, a dropped shot on 14 as he slides back into that bunch. But Oliver, the par 5s here are really important. How much pressure does that put on you when you get there standing on the tee, knowing this is one of the few scoring opportunities you have?
Yeah, there is a lot of pressure because the tee shots are quite important to get them somewhere in play. And then the greens being so firm. Oh, great shot there by Darren. The greens being so firm, it's quite hard to get your second shot close. Or you need to try and play for a miss to give yourself the best chance of up and downing for birdie. Yeah, but definitely only 2 par 5s out there. You need to capitalize if you can.
Darren Fichardt into the last hole, potentially going to post the low round of the championship. We'd only seen a 67 before, and he's on course for potentially something better than that. 5 under at this stage, and that to get to 6 under, which would be a heck of an effort. Is that a number that you thought was even possible when you were out there earlier?
I thought so. I mean, you still got to play unbelievable golf. You still got to play unbelievable golf. But if you make a few putts, you'll definitely stand a chance of making birdies. But yeah, obviously Darren's played a great round so far to get to 6 under there.
Yeah, heck of an effort from Darren, posting the clubhouse lead, 3 under par in total for him. That is a really, really impressive effort from Darren Fichardt, and a great round of golf from him today. Really, really good to see the way that he has gone about proceedings today.
Yeah, it was good to see Jaco van Zyl also at a 5 under par today, making the cut on the number, and now all of a sudden in the top 10. You know, it just shows you with these conditions, if you get the putter going, you can definitely move right up through the field.
A drop to start with, a drop to finish with. Unfortunate, but great week for you, I must say.
Yeah, I played quite nicely. I mean, I had a bit of a rough day yesterday. But to shoot 2 under par rounds on this golf course was, I'm happy with that, and I'm looking forward to the weeks coming up.
I know you put in quite a lot of work during the lockdown. Are you seeing the results of that?
Definitely. Yeah, I feel really confident where my game's at. And yeah, just 1 or 2 things need to go my way, and hopefully we'll finish a little bit higher on the leaderboard.
Yeah. Heading to the rest of the series, what you looking forward to?
The rest of the golf courses are awesome. This one was pretty good, and the Glendale is going to be a treat, and Pretoria Country Club, and the rest of them coming up too. So looking forward to playing some good golf courses, and for the weather to warm up a little bit.
How cold was it on Wednesday?
So I had an afternoon tee off time, but I got you a little early just to kind of check what's happening and see how the greens are reacting, and it was freezing. I mean, it was so cold. So I'm glad I had an afternoon tee off time.
Listen, well played this week, and we look forward to seeing you for the rest of the Rise Up series.
Thanks very much, OG. Appreciate it.
Back to you, Richie.
Oliver, you were laughing when he was talking about having the afternoon tea time on Wednesday. Your thoughts on the conditions on Wednesday?
Yeah, I wasn't so fortunate. I was off 10 to 8 on Wednesday morning, and it was definitely the coldest I've ever been on the golf course. It was just absolutely shocking, and there was no way to hide as well, because the clubhouse is closed. You're standing outside. You don't know if you should actually go to the range, if it's going to be warmer just to stand behind a wall or wait in the car or something. I don't know. It was just a shocker.
Yeah, temperatures getting down to a real feel of -11. The wind just absolutely cutting through the golfers on Wednesday morning. But you guys did well to stick around. Obviously tough to get the trickier of the draws to play morning late.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Darren also had the same draw as me. Obviously made a few more birdies than me. But yeah, it was definitely a tough test on Wednesday morning. You're standing up there, you don't know how far the ball's going to go. It's so cold. You've got so many layers of clothing on that you don't know actually how you're going to swing the club. No, it was brutal.
Hopefully the last of the winter conditions that we'll get up here on the Highveld, but it does get pretty intense, especially early on like that. Jaco Prinsloo also enjoying a good run at the title. Certainly making the most of the par 5 here. That should give him a look at birdie.
Yeah, no, it's quite a sneaky little putt. It should break to his right, but it doesn't look like it's going to break much. So it's let's see if he can read that. But looking at the leaderboard now, you can see that the guys that are playing winter golf at the moment are all up there. I think the first guy that's on there that's not from Joburg is probably a Dilson.
That's certainly something that you have to adjust to, isn't it?
Definitely. You know, I've had one practice round and then the tournament started. So I mean, it's not something that you need a few rounds, I think, to under the belt to get back into it.
How tough, Oliver, as well, to get back into professional golf as well. It's one thing to play with mates, it's another with card in hand.
Definitely. It was nice to to get the juices going again and feel like you're busy doing something that you're used to doing. I mean, even just traveling, flying up here, it was like, yes, where's my travel bag? Where's my suitcase? I haven't traveled in so long. Something that you did week in and week out, and all of a sudden you haven't done it for so long, it feels weird.
Feels like the first day of school again, I'm sure. This Ruan Korb for his birdie on 15.
To join the lead. Just a little firm.
Trying to, of course, cash in on the par 5. As far as scoring opportunities go for the weigh-in, 16, 17, 18, there's not many more there, are there?
No. No, you've got to hit some good putts and some good shots, iron shots. It's quite hard to get the balls close to the hole. 18, if you hit a good tee shot, you've got a chance because you're coming in there with a wedge and the pin is quite accessible. You saw Darren there making birdie. But, yeah, you need to hit a couple of good shots on 16 and 17 if you want to have a good look at it. The wind also makes it tricky. It's swirling all over the place today. So you can't bank on the wind being in from a certain direction, which made it hard to judge your distance control.
Wind maybe not as strong today though as you guys have had the last 2 days.
No, it wasn't strong, but because it's variable, it makes it very tricky. So, but yeah, probably the least amount of wind we've had all week. See, it just breaks away. Actually surprising that, because Ruan also is a long hitter and Yaku as well. Surprising both of them haven't capitalized on this hole.
Yeah, a little careless maybe to leave it in the bunker there for Yaku in particular with his second shot.
Yeah, it's quite a accessible flag if you can draw your second. Ruan is a lefty, so for him a little fade, but because everything feeds down towards the hole.
I guess the last thing you want to do is get too greedy on a hole like this with the penalty area to the left of it.
Yeah, ask me about it. I was very close to it.
And with it being so firm and fast, I guess if you get into those sort of shaved areas, the ball does feed away to the penalty area pretty quickly.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't hang up on the banks like it would in summer. So if you miss a green, it just bounds on, and you probably in summer you would have probably been within like a yard or two of the putting surface, and now all of a sudden you're 20 yards away. So it does make it very, very tricky. Right to left there for Ruan.
Well done. You don't want to be giving a shot away on the par 5 where you should be picking one up.
Yeah, no, that's true. And they've moved that tee up today as well,
yeah,
which makes it actually very tricky because you don't know what line to hit. Like, I haven't played here enough times to actually know how far left you can go there. So I think that could catch a few of the guys. It definitely did me. I went through the fairway there.
Jaco Prinsloo taps in for par there to remain in with a shot 2 under par for the championship, 3 under on his round today. Let's head down to the 18th green now to join OG Molefe again.
Wow, Darren, that was a superb round for you. Solid start on the front 9, and I guess those 3 birdies on the trot on the turn kind of set you up for a 6 under par round today.
No, definitely. You know, I started off today, I was missing some short putts for birdies. I was getting really frustrated, and you know, with the scoring system, you can see what the scores are all the time. So I saw my good friend Jaco van Zyl was burning the course up. I thought, you know what, I must also do something. So then I came, and then I birdied 8, 9, 10, I think. Yeah. So so that was good to make birdies, because geez, the birdies are tough to get out here.
Does that say a lot about you guys' experience? I mean, you guys have been on tour for so many years, and to date, up to now, you guys are, you know, shot the lowest rounds of the day so far.
I don't know. You know, it's
I think the first day was really cold. I mean, geez, I was just happy I'd have been happy with 8 over, never mind 3 over. And then yesterday was a frustrating day. I hit it a little better. Today was playing a lot better. Obviously, the greens are quite tricky to read the lines and stuff, but you know, it's just a point of, I realized very late, obviously only till today, that just need to get into play. You know, it's a very old traditional golf course, and if you just position yourself in the fairway, you can get close to flag. So would it be experience from playing for 26 years on tour? Yeah, definitely. You know, it's definitely carried me through to be where I am right now.
Yeah, posting the lead in the clubhouse. Nice to finish off with a birdie as well.
Yeah, very nice to finish the birdie. Actually, I hit my tee shot a little shorter than what I wanted to, so I was under the tree, so I had to keep it low, and then still, which actually helped me. You know, if it wasn't for that tree, I'd probably hit a high floater, and then don't know how it's going to bounce. But always nice to finish with a birdie, even if it's to win. Yeah.
Yeah. Finally, what do you do now? I mean, we don't know if we'll have a playoff here or you just hang around. I see the bars open just to see who's going to chase you down here.
Well, I see the guys on playing 15. 15 is a very birdieable hole, par 5, short par 5. I mean, I hit driver wedge today, so the guys will definitely pull a birdie out there, and then then it's next 3 holes quite tricky, so we'll see what happens.
All right, thanks, Darren, and well played today.
Thank you.
Back to you, Rich.
Thanks, OG. Well, Darren certainly underplaying the importance of experience, Oliver. A guy like that can draw on experience galore.
Yeah, he's been a multiple winner on the Sunshine Tour, almost like a serial winner. So for him, you know, being back out here, he's got lots to draw from, especially being from Joburg, being able to play these winter conditions. You know, you can see it pays off big time.
Interesting that he did mention here on 15 hitting driver wedge. He's certainly not one of the longest ones, maybe sneaky long, but it is a hole that the guys are cashing in on.
Definitely. Darren, he's actually gained a bit of distance recently. I don't know if he's been working out or what he's been doing, but he's hitting it longer than he used to. But still, yeah, I mean, if you hit a good line on 15, you could probably get away with coming in with a wedge or even less.
The
Especially
South League
Anton.
group, yeah, they've got themselves in varying positions around the screen, pretty much got it surrounded, and it looks like Ulrich first to play from the front of the green.
I'm actually surprised to not see more people putting for eagle here. I mean, we've watched the last 2 groups, nobody's hit the screen in 2. Very strange.
Ollie, do you think maybe the guys are in with a shot? They don't want to be too aggressive with this hole?
I don't know. I mean, you're coming in with, if you hit a good tee shot, you're not coming in with more than 8 iron. So, you know, it's not a long club in your hand. And Uli just left that one way short there. So I don't know what he's. Oh, there we go. Sit.
Well, that's got to stop.
Oh man, that could be in the penalty area there for Anton.
That's what we were talking about. It drops off steeply there, and that's really the last place you want to be. But having left himself in the bunker there, that was, I guess, always going to be a possibility.
That's a pity, because Anton has been on the comeback road for the last year or 2, so it was good to see him up there. But I think that's going to cost him dearly. Nice little chip there.
Yeah, nicely done from Alex there. Potentially going to set up a birdie for him. And with the carnage going on around the 15th hole, that could see him move into a share of it alongside Darren.
Oh, he's dropped another shot on 14.
Yeah.
Alex, I think he'll go to 2 under par. There'll still be 1 back. Oh, it looks like Anton held up there. Oh no, he did take a drop. Oh, okay. Oh my
goodness.
word. Things are going pear-shaped, yeah.
Oliver, when you're in with a shout of winning a tournament like this, just how tough is it to keep it together when things are maybe running away from you?
Well, I think you can see from how the guys are playing that it's getting to them a little bit. But it's especially after having such a long break. I mean, everybody's rusty. Everybody's been out of the loop for a while. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out. Who's mentally stronger, because that's basically what it comes down to. I mean, everybody's been playing decently to be in that position. So it's just that mental fortitude to keep it going.
What's Uli got here? Coming up the slope and sort of plateauing out there?
Yeah, a little double breaker. It's probably going to go to his left and then go back to the right at the hole. Not an easy read. Good try.
Tough from there, though. We've not seen too many people that have looked like making that.
No, it's a tough read. The greens are very tricky to read in general. So that's why you see there's not a lot of birdies being made, not a lot of putts dropping.
Subtle breaks, still quick.
Yeah, they're quick, subtle breaks. It's a bit of winter grass coming out, so they're a little bumpy. Anton.
Certainly not sticking around. Does the pace get a little bit quicker when a hole like this is beating you around?
Well, I mean, you should stay focused and just try and stay calm. But you know, I can see Anton is playing pretty quickly at the moment. Hopefully he can get that head back on and finish strong.
Really doesn't want to be dropping a shot on one of the holes that you are meant to pick up one on.
Yeah,
but does look like he's taking a bit more time here, though.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got this to drop only one shot, so.
Yeah, well, only one drop shot for Anton, but that does send him back to 1 under par, and 2 shots off the pace set by Darren Fichardt. So he'll be disappointed with that, but still an opportunity though over the closing stretch, although as Oliver Bekker did mention, not too many birdies to be had on at least 16 and 17, maybe on 18.
Yeah, I think these guys would pay for my finish today. I finished 3 under my last 5 holes, so I think there's some money to be made if I could sell that.
If you could offer that to one of the pros, I'm sure they would take it with the greatest of pleasure. Jake Roos now to finish up proceedings on 18 for a birdie. Yeah, good putt from Jake. Really nicely done. Oliver, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining us in the box today. Really do appreciate your time. Welcome back as well. We look forward to seeing how you go next week.
Thank you. Yeah, looking forward to next week. This was a nice tournament to shake the rust off. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting finish, and can't wait to see who's going to win.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Oliver Bekker, for joining us in the box today as we continue to wrap up the final round of the Betway Championship here at Killarney Country Club. MJ Viljoen here looking to finish up proceedings on the 18th with the bogey. Not to be, so it's a double drop for him on the last. The week had promised much for him, looked good at stages, but not the ideal finish for MJ. But as we have mentioned, incredibly tough out there, and he'll wrap things up at 6 over par for the championship. That, though, is still good enough at this stage for a share of 22nd place. Just gives you an idea of just how tricky conditions are at this stage. 6 players in red numbers and just 1 on level par in Dilson de Silva. Martin Rohwer also looking to wrap up his first event back, and potentially a par for him here at the last. That's unfortunate. It's not something you want to see on the last hole in particular, and Martin Rohwer obviously pretty disappointed in the way that went. We're going to head out to Keith Horn now and see how one of the veterans is faring out there. But as we do that, we also welcome a new face and a new voice into the commentary box with me today. Thomas App, Deputy Commissioner of the Sunshine Tour. Thank you so much, first of all, for joining us, but also for getting professional golf back up and running.
Sure, Rich. I don't think you should be thanking us. I should thank our government, Golf RSA. Tough road they had to get us on the golf course again, but super excited to be here. 5 long months, tough having nothing going on. Professionals wanting to earn a living, compete, put their name on the trophy. So super happy, super glad. So very, very happy to be here.
A lot of things that we are dealing with at the moment, as you can see, the perspex between us, the new normal, the face masks, all that sort of stuff. But you guys have done a remarkable job in ensuring the safety of the players here.
Thanks, Rich. Yeah, we had to appoint a risk mitigation officer. Dirk Klutty, our operations manager, stepped up, did superbly well. Really, it was a tough ask. He coordinated a lot of efforts with Golf RSA, the health docs implementation, getting our professionals aware that we have to go down this route. It was difficult. It was tough to get our professionals to understand why we have to do it. But we got through. We're here. Very, very cold and blustery start on that Wednesday morning where the guys had to come and register and going, oh, do we have to do this and what is the next step? But we're here and so far so good.
It has been a wonderful start to proceedings despite the challenges you guys have faced, the weather being one of them. But I guess getting sponsors on board, another one as well, and Betway have been incredible in stepping up to the plate, and African Bank, of course, will be taking over next week as well.
Absolutely. I think one of the benefits of getting some partners on board now as well is not only from a financial concern for the players, but also to create more interest in the tournaments. Oh, Jaco Prinsloo.
Yeah.
Boxed a little birdie over there for him. Well done. So we had Betway on board, super excited, young dynamic team, trying to create a lot of interest, do things differently, and assist us with our payoff line in terms of greatness begins here. And also, in addition, Betway have joined us as a tour partner as well. And we've got some interesting concepts coming up in the near future as well. So very excited that they're on board with us. And next week we've got African Bank. But I'm super excited to sit here and say that we've managed to secure another partner for our 3rd Rise Up tournament in Titleist. They gave us a confirmation, a thumbs up this morning, that they're going to come on board and be a partner for the 3rd Rise Up Series tournament. So we're slowly catching that monkey.
Fantastic to hear that Titleist, of course, long-term supporters of the tour are stepping up and making that happen.
Absolutely. Difficult space for everybody. And when we knocked on their door, the decision locally was yes, we're in, we'll do it. Oh, by the way, we've got to go to America and get the sign-off. But the guys have been great partners to the tour, and long may it continue.
We are being treated to a wonderful finish to the Betway Championship, the first event of the Rise Up series. And certainly all happening at the moment. Jaco Prinsloo joining Darren Fichardt in a share of the lead on 3 under par. So potentially a tournament that's not going to finish just after the 54 holes. Thomas, I guess that's about the best advertisement you could ask for, is that it just doesn't finish.
Long may it continue. Actually, we were joking, the tournament office just now, and our tournament secretary this week was jumping up and down saying, playoff, great for the sponsor, great for the pros, let's have a playoff. And we were like, oh, please, let's get the week over. It's been quite a difficult one, but absolutely. Oh, it seems like an easy green, that.
Rowan Corb's also trying to make a move and close the gap on Darren Fichardt and Jaco Prinsloo. Now just one shot between them. Another one of the young talents that the Sunshine Tour is producing. Nice to see guys like him given the opportunities to play, compete, and show just how good they are alongside the seasoned campaigners.
Absolutely. Rowan's one of our youngsters, and I must admit, watching him tee off this morning, I was going, who's that young man? I mean, absolutely, seeing him keep it together thus far for his round, 1 under. So very chuffed for him. As we keep on saying, greatness does begin here, and maybe he's one of the next.
Yeah, certainly wonderful opportunities being created for the members of the Sunshine Tour. Alex Heindel's been around for quite some time, a veteran campaigner on the Sunshine Tour. 293 events he has competed in. And this is second into the 16th. Potentially short and a little left on 16, and as you can see there is a trap guarding it, but I think he might be just right of that. But a tough stretch for the golfers to have to contend with here at Killarney Country Club. Thomas, it's one thing to have to deal with sponsors, but to deal with the clubs as well. They're also guys that that have to step up and make their courses available in a difficult space.
And they've also been amazing. We sent out a tender when we got our approval from our commissioner, Saul Nathan, so let's go ahead and do this. Put a tender out to our golf courses, and so many jumped up and said, cool, we'll do this. Because they want to promote golf. They understand that professional golf is something they want to be associated with. And we've also gone to some of those other different golf courses which you may not necessarily see always on the Sunshine Tour. And that's our way of going, hey, we understand golf is in a difficult space, so let's take it to different places. So the last couple of events on our Rise Up series are at some of the courses you may not necessarily see hosting a major championship, but we thought it was very apt to host those tournaments there.
Yeah, nice to see it go around the plethora of good courses that we do have in Johannesburg here. Let's head down now to OG, to the side of the 18th.
Well, I guess someone who's been playing better and better as the week has progressed is Martin Rohwer. Marty, 68 today to finish. You must be happy with that?
Yeah, really happy with the round. Bogeyed, I think 2 and 3 to go 2 over through 3 holes, and then from there played really solid the whole round. So yeah, extremely happy. Obviously first tournament back, and hopefully can take some of this form into next week.
Today you took advantage of the 2 par 5s.
Yeah, I mean there's only 2 on the course, so you kind of have to. There's honestly not many other scoring opportunities. But yeah, obviously hit a nice shot into the one on the front 9, and then hit a great shot into the one on the back 9. Managed to make eagle on 15, which really helped the round.
Yeah, what do you take from this week heading forward for the rest of the series?
Just that my game's actually in decent shape. Obviously with 5 months off, you don't really know. So yeah, it's right there. So if I just clean up a few things, we should have a good next week. Good week next week as well. So
well played this weekend.
Okay.
Good luck for next week, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Back to you.
Nice to hear from Martin Rohwer. 2 under par on his round today. Could have been even better, but drop shot in the last, not ideal for him. As we head back to 16 now, and Alex Heindel. Good effort for birdie for him there, but not to be in. A bit of work to do to clean things up for his par there. We mentioned Martin Rohwer, Thomas. He's been fairly industrious during lockdown and come up with a wonderful solution that you guys have jumped on as far as bunkers and rakes are concerned.
Absolutely. When we chatted to Martin, he said he didn't know what to do during the lockdown. So he came up with this great idea to attach the head of the rake onto the back of your golf club. And when he started promoting this, we all thought, sure, this is a little crazy, what are you doing? But as we got closer and closer to restarting professional golf, we realized that, hang on, there's something a bit more in this. With golf courses struggling and with the amount of staff, maintenance staff on the golf courses not necessarily being able to get out early in the mornings, we thought it was very, very good to partner with Martin. So each of our professional golfers got a rake, the tip of the rake, which they attach to the tip of their golf club and can clean their bunker, put it back into their bag and carry on. So it's their rake, not having too many guys touch rakes on the golf course. So yeah, give Martin a pat on the back from a social distancing point of view, of course, and say, well done. You got some extra income during the lockdown.
Yeah, it is nice to see the professionals doing things like that, thinking outside the box and trying to improve things for the rest of the players on tour. Ulrich van den Berg now on 16 with a long effort for birdie, but that should be good enough for a par as he remains at 2 under. It is one of the areas, I guess, that was a cause of concern for professionals handling the rakes. The flag stick was another one, but you guys have got a rather good solution for that as well, a chemical that is helping keep them safe and keeping it decontaminated.
Absolutely, it's a product called Zono, if I get the pronunciation correct. We spray it daily and as many times as we can during the day, and it protects the flag sticks, but also anybody touching it. Sorry, Anton missed over there, unfortunately, again. But yes, so again, we've investigated so many things that need to happen, and we've tried to ensure that our players are safe, and first and foremost, but being able to compete as well. So we've, as I said, we've tried to tick all those boxes.
Anton Egg, as you mentioned, leaking a bit of oil on the way in. Started out so well. An eagle on the 5th hole, was leading at the turn, 1 clear of the chasing pack, but just a few mistakes in the last few holes. Gotten a little bit ruffled, and 3 dropped shots in his last 5 holes, and going to give one back to the field here as well on a 16. Alex Heindel still very much in the mix, but needs this to keep up the pressure on our 2 leaders. Not to be. Just left it a little low there. We have seen that once or twice from the professionals, that mistakes do happen. This not ideal for Jaco Prinsloo. This is a massive miss from him on the par 3 17th. Almost looked like it was off the pipe, and he's left himself in potentially an even worse position there. That just goes to show you, I guess, you can get out of position pretty quickly on this golf course. It's proving to be a test for the professionals, isn't it, Thomas? It doesn't look on paper as the longest or the toughest of courses, but man, it's testing them.
Absolutely, and I go back to that blustery winter morning on Wednesday. I chatted to some of our staff this week, and they were going, "No, I think the pros are going to eat this course up." And I was going, "Really?" I was like, "Okay, well, my best years on a golf course are behind me. I know that." I was like, "Okay, well, what do you think?" "No, at least 10 under." I was like, "Wow, okay, great." Then after the first 9 holes in that first morning, I thought, "Sure, 10 under is a long way to go." So winter conditions up on the Highveld ain't so easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. Jaco Prinsloo doing well there to potentially limit the damage on this hole, and maybe just escape with 1 dropped shot here. But it just has shown once again, you know, everybody talks about the distance debate in golf. It doesn't have to be an 8,000 meter long golf course. It doesn't have to be particularly long or trying or tricky or anything like that. A good old-fashioned Parklands layout like this, set up well as you guys have done, and it's not going to be easy for these guys.
Absolutely not. I think credit needs to go to our tournament director, Ludwig Manyama, and his team this week, in Gary and our friends from the Golf RSA that assisted this week in officiating. As you said, the course setup lends itself to the scores that have been put out there. And again, as I said at the start of the week, everybody thought, oh, reasonably short course, winter, hit on the fairway, it'll go for ages, which was definitely the case. So very, very pleased. It's been a good test, and I'm glad to see we've got a bit of a jam-packed top of the leaderboard over there. Seasoned professional in Darren so far, but let's see what Jaco can do on the last.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to give a shot back here on 17 and potentially slide out of that share for the lead. Adilson De Silva, another seasoned campaigner. Keith Horn said yesterday the greybeards are coming through, and we certainly have seen it. The more seasoned campaigners are making a run at it.
Absolutely, and Dilson, one of the nicest gentlemen you'll ever find. He really is. He's considerate, caring, kind, and genuine. Always want to see him do well. Pity they didn't box that, but hopefully down the last he can close in and come in top 5.
He's an interesting character, as Adilson. I had a chat with him after his round yesterday, and we were chatting about dancing and football, and as a guy from Brazil, I would have thought those would have been right up his alley, but tells me he's got 0 tempo and knows very little about football, which is kind of strange. I guess he's been in South Africa for too long.
Yeah, dancing isn't one of my best fortes either. In soccer, I know very little about as well, so that's what Adilson and I talk about often, not dancing in either soccer.
Rowan Korb should tap in for par there and remain at 2 under. Great performance from him to keep it together over the closing stretch and even pick up a shot or 2 heading towards the clubhouse. Now Jaco Prinsloo to try and limit the damage here on 17. It really was the tee shot that got him out of position here, and it can happen pretty quickly.
At least he'll know what he have to do going down 18.
Yeah. Back to the tee now, and match 15. The last group out there, and Adilson De Silva we just saw as one of the seasoned campaigners. This man just as experienced as well. Ulrich van den Berg, he refuses to go away, had a few bumps along the way, but that's a heck of a shot from him. We have spoken about how tough the par threes are here at Killarney Country Club, and they really have tested the pros this week.
Absolutely, and Uli's just one back as well, so he may be a little shot there on 18 as well. So come on, Alex, knock it in the hole, and let's have a real tie going down 18.
Yeah, another good shot from him as well. Two definite looks at birdie there on 17. See how Anton Haig gets on as well. He's, of course, the third member of this group, but struggling a little bit today.
Yeah, but good to see Anton back on the course, competing in contention. Lost his way early on, not just on the golf course, but in life. But great to see him back and competing and having a real go at this tournament over here. As you say, unfortunately, last few holes have been a struggle. But good for the game, having Anton back.
Yeah, for sure. Does have a remarkable record here at Killarney Country Club. 3 events, 2 top 10s, and I'm sure this week he's going to bag another top 10, so certainly likes the place. Keith Horn here on 18 is second into the green. Oh, really nicely done from Keith Horn.
Well done. Good to see Keith playing as well. One of our seasoned professionals, as we call them. And I just look at the leaderboard now. We've got a nice blend of, as you call them, the veterans, if I can, and the youngsters. Nice to see that.
Yeah, nice to see some of the youngsters getting an opportunity to play with these seasoned campaigners. I saw Luca Filippi was playing with Darren Fichardt a little earlier on. Guy got his card earlier on at Q School in the year, and he will have certainly learnt a lot from seeing a guy like Darren plot his way around a course and shoot that remarkable round of 64 today.
I think what's interesting is what you've touched something on there is you can practice as much as you want, but put yourself in a tournament situation on the last day. There's nothing that can prepare you except playing in that tournament for that trophy. So all good to see Keith make 3 down the last as well. So yeah, so put yourself into contention. There's nothing better than experience to get you ready for the next event.
That's good enough for a tie for 15th for Keith Horn at the moment as he finishes nicely placed in the final round of the Betway Championship. This is the last group out on the course now, and really are expecting things from these guys. In particular, Ulrich van den Berg certainly has the best look at birdie here on 17. Anton Haig's left himself in not the best of positions. Almost sort of a valley of sin down there in front of the green, a big drop off and a collection area there, and there's always a danger if you do come up short here on 17 that it is going to gather in that spot. It does look like he's got the putter in hand, and Thomas, that makes us amateurs feel a little bit better about our games, guys using the putter from around the green.
Yeah, we actually saw, I think it was Alex on 14, also putting from the edge of the green. We were questioning, going, oh my gosh, is this the right type of shot? And he almost held it. Fortunately, Anton not doing as well there, but definitely in the winter conditions, it's the way to go. But obviously, it was a lot more difficult from Anton's angle, from what we can see.
Yeah, difficult to judge the pace when you are coming up a steep slope like that to try and get it 100% right and to release out the right distance on the green once it hits the putting surface. But unfortunately, Anton has kept his turn, and another effort from off the green here.
Yeah, pity for Anton over there. Yeah, just as you said, leaking a little bit too much down the stretch. But Rich, was also very exciting this week. We've gone back and we've implemented a new strategy from a streaming perspective, and all 5 of our Rise Up series will be streamed in the current platform. So new team creating new different ideas, and we're very excited with what we're seeing, bringing golf into homes and onto people's mobiles and their iPads if they can. But we're trying to be different, trying to bring golf to people in different ways. And so far, so good. Very pleased with the outcome and what we've been able to deliver this week.
Yeah, you guys have always managed to pioneer the way in whatever it might be, and the product that you do offer to viewers is certainly a new way of doing it. It's a way that people want to consume their content now, and it's something that people have taken to.
Absolutely, Rich, and I think that's exactly it. We just got to keep on being different. Nothing is the same, regardless of the COVID pandemic. You just got to be different every time you do something.
Does give you the opportunity to try 1 or 2 different things, and we are of course streaming today on the Sunshine Tours Facebook page, the YouTube channel, and of course DSTV Now, which is also a nice partner to have come on board and provide streaming services there.
It's exactly what I was going to jump on. Let's hope Uli knocks us in over here.
Oh, unlucky.
Club stepped out of his hand over there for some reason as well. But yes, tip I had to our partner Supersport. Mark and Louis and yourself, Rich, have been wonderful in trying to assist us and bring golf to all the different platforms. So we're very excited, and our partnership will definitely, as I said, continue for the next 5 events through the Rise Up series, and let's see what happens after that. Maybe there's a bigger friendship down the road as well.
Yeah, delighted to be a part of it. It really is something different, something exciting, and certainly the way forward, and be a part of pioneering that then certainly is something to look at for the future. Yeah, Anton, I think struggling now to finish up his round. I think he must know his challenge is pretty much done for now.
Yeah, shame. I think he wants to get off as quick as he possibly can. I'm sure his blood is boiling a little bit over there, but one more hole, and hopefully Alex just tapped that in as well. Going down the last, he's got to do something special.
Yeah, certainly needs a great finish from Alex Heindel. This Jaco Prinsloo, and he needs to get this one close if he's to tie up Darren Fichardt on 3 under.
Looks like he went in there with a longish club. Wasn't quite the same as what Keith did.
Not the place you really want to miss. Leaving himself short on 18. Let's head down to OG now next to the green.
Jaden, not as great a day as you had yesterday. How do you feel about today's run?
Yeah, from the start, I hit a few decent shots, but just never, putter wasn't working this week. Yeah, today obviously I think I must have had around 35 putts out there. Missed a few more greens than yesterday. I mean, the pins were tough today. I mean, they were tucked away in some corners, front pins. I mean, obviously in winter greens aren't too reactive, and yeah, I took some pins on, hit some bad shots, and just didn't manage to pull off the same as yesterday. I mean, wasn't too happy with the score yesterday or the first round, but I mean, it's the first event back in so long. But yeah, I mean, it happens, and someone's going to go low, so yeah.
Yeah, but you must be happy to be back and looking forward to the rest of the series.
Yeah, 4 more events left, and I mean, I'd rather be playing than sitting at home on my couch. So yeah, but I mean, excited to get going. Each round it gets better, more feeling comes back, and yeah.
All right, thanks, Jay. We look forward to the rest of the series with you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Rich, I was fortunate enough to play with Jaden a few weeks ago. He's hitting the ball very well. Obviously around Killarney you can't really use driver a lot, but he was definitely positive and finding the markers off the fairways, off the tees rather, with his irons as well to keep in play. The putter wasn't as hot, so hopefully for him, when he goes down to Glendower, where maybe they'll have a bit of maybe easier, quicker greens to actually roll, it'll be much better for him. But I think he hit the ball very well this week, just that some problems on the greens, which is what a lot of the players were actually saying this week. It was tough, but yeah, a solid showing for Jaden, and like everyone else, just happy to be back.
Yeah, thanks, OG. It was certainly a putting display. I think Jaden would like to forget said to me yesterday. I had a 4-putt out there, and that's not what you want to see, but another wonderful talent. And speaking of talents, Ruan Korb looking to find the 18th green as well. Thomas, we are going to say goodbye to you now, but thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your continued efforts in making sure that this Rise Up series goes off without a hitch. Congratulations. It's been a great week, and we look forward to the next 4 events.
Thanks, Rich. Yeah, super exciting, and hopefully with our last 2 events, we'll put that pen to paper to get some more sponsors on board. But Rich, thanks, and well done on what you're doing as well.
Cannot wait. Thank you very much. Thomas Apt, the Deputy Commissioner of the Sunshine Tour, joining us in the commentary box today. Wonderful to hear the efforts of the Sunshine Tour in ensuring that the professionals are back and competing again this week. It's been a 6-month break since the last event, the Tour Championship, and this has certainly provided the finish we were hoping for. Alex Heindel hand off the club again, but doesn't look too bad there for him. Needs to find something on the last if he's to put any pressure on Darren Fichardt, who does lead at this stage. 3 under par, a remarkable round of 64 for him today. Anton Haig playing in that last group as well. Looks like he's found the fairway there. And the conveyor belt of talent in the commentary box continues. I'm not referring to myself, but Dylan Naidoo joining me. Thank you so much for coming into commentary and having a chat with us today.
Thanks for having me, Richard. I appreciate it.
How have things been? First event back.
It was a lot of fun, honestly. Course was really, really difficult. I think it was a great test to get us started with.
Yeah, it has been pretty tough for the guys. You got off to a good start and maybe not able to capitalize on that the next 2 rounds.
Yeah, I played great the first round and didn't really have the day I wanted yesterday. Today I played great again, so just kind of one strange round in between. Otherwise I would have been where I wanted to be, close to the lead.
Yeah, it's not too far off where you guys were after round 1, looking at the way things have panned out now. But Jaco Prinsloo needing to hold this on 18 to try and force a playoff with Darren Fichardt, and it's definitely not an easy one. Yeah, not to be tough to control it out of there, especially if you're on the short side of things. Not an easy shot from there, is it?
Really difficult. I was actually in the exact same spot. The green is running away from you pretty quickly, and you need to fly it about 2 or 3 meters over that little slope, so really tough shot.
Also trying to get your second shots to come in high and stop as well. I guess it's not going to give you the best of lies in bunkers either.
Yeah, definitely.
Rowan Korb in the same spot of bother as Prinsloo.
Looks like he's on the upslope there, so maybe could get this a bit closer.
Yeah, not to be though. Those are 2 real contenders to tie Darren Fichardt up and try and put a bit of pressure on him as the second last group in. But Dylan, thank you so much for coming to join us here. And we're not exactly socially distant, but we are perspex protected here at least. What's it been like adjusting to the new norm of professional golf in the COVID era?
The new normal. It's been a bit weird. We're not handling actual scorecards. A lot of small little things that we need to adjust to, and I think it's good to get going again though. I'm glad that we have some events, and credit to the Sunshine Tour for getting us started.
How tough is it to get back to competitive golf when you've been playing socially for so long, to have card in hand again and face those pressures once more?
Yeah, I think playing too much social golf isn't really good for a professional golfer sometimes.
We enjoy it though. Yes. We enjoy playing with you guys.
Yeah, we try and play for a bit of money and try and get the pressure going, but it's just not even close to the same as tournament golf, honestly.
Yeah, it's tough to adjust to competing once again after such a lengthy break. What did you get up to during lockdown?
I did a lot of strength and fitness stuff at home. I got a decent little gym set up there, so managed to get quite a lot of work done with that. And yeah, just try to kind of occupy myself with some other stuff, you know. Learn a little bit about the stock market and switch it up a little bit. But yeah, it's just waiting for golf to come back, really.
Yeah, it's been a lengthy wait, but one that we're all glad to finally have back. A good finish for Jaco Prinsloo. You won't be delighted with the drop on the last, but still that's going to guarantee him a top 5, and got to be pleased with that coming back first event out, although a couple of mistakes the last 2 holes. Really has struggled over the closing stretch. Dropped shots on his last 2 holes on days 1, 2 and 3. 6 in total there, and it could have been a very different story if he had have kept a clean card as he was coming in to wrap up proceedings each day. This important for Ruan as well to try and save par here at the last. Dylan, what's he looking at here?
Doesn't break as much as you think. I had a very similar putt from that side, so let's see if he can kind of diet in on the line he's choosing, or if he's going to play it with less break. But it looks like it's going to break a little more than it actually does. Left to right, a little bit difficult with left-handers to figure that all out, but
no, his reaction says it all there. To be a fairly firm effort and possibly threw a bit of the break there, but want to tidy this one up, not give too much away on the last. Not an ideal finish as Rowan Korb drops to 1 under, but still something you ought to be pleased with. First round back as we look to see the conclusion of match number 14 out on the course here at Killarney Country Club, and this Adilson de Silva. Yeah, par for Adilson de Silva. Level par effort for him, and a pretty good result as he wraps up the first event back. Back to the fairway now, Ulrich van den Berg. The last real hopes of potentially catching Darren Fichardt. Really has been a revelation, has Uli. Had a hip operation last year, played a limited schedule, and really has been showing signs of a return to form. But that's going to take some work if he's to make that and tie Darren Fichardt at 3 under. Anton Haig now. Second shot into 18, manages to suck that back onto the green. But lengthy efforts from there. Dylan, what are they looking at around there?
That whole section just to the right of the hole is all feeding towards the flag, so they're going to have a fairly big breaking left to right putt from that side. Pretty quick too, slightly down the hill, so let's see if Uli can hold it and force a playoff.
Certainly not one of the more accessible holes out on the course. It's not one that you're going to go flag hunting at. There's not too many of those out there, are there?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, you have to hit a really good drive down there to give yourself any kind of chance at making birdie, just because of how firm the greens are. And it's tough to be hitting a little fade with a sand wedge or a gap wedge. It's not going to turn. It's not going to move to the right as much as you'd like it to. So not easy to get it close to that pin.
Tee is right back on 18 as well, also as far back as you can go.
Yeah, and it's playing a little into the wind as well from that tee box, so it's even longer than the yardage plays.
Short club in hand. That's a pretty good spot to land it and let it release out there.
Definitely, yeah. That's probably one of the straighter putts you're going to have on that from that section over there.
Needed to hold that to force the playoff with Darren Fichardt. But it looks like Alex Heindel is out of the mix in terms of winning this championship. But he'll certainly be targeting as high up a finish as he can possibly get with a birdie on the last. Been tough for these guys coming in. Dylan, it's been tough today as well. It might have died down a little bit in terms of the wind, but not the easiest of day to play golf in.
Definitely, yeah. And I think because they've been trying to get the greens a little bit quicker, they start to firm up even quicker throughout the day. You know, if there's a little bit longer grass in the morning, then it at least like holds that moisture for longer. But yeah, so as the week got on, the greens get firmer and firmer quicker throughout the day, and those last few holes play really, really difficult. I mean, 17 is a beast of a par 3, and then 18, it's only a 3-iron sandwich, but you have to hit 2 really quality shots to get it in there close.
Yeah, a lot of really strong golf here at Killarney Country Club. It just goes to show you it doesn't have to be the longest of golf courses to be tough.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, this is probably one of the toughest tracks in Johannesburg at the moment. Yeah, there's a lot of those little 4-irons, 3-irons off the tee that you have to be super accurate with. You have to curve it in the right direction to keep it on the fairway.
I guess first event back, that's not something that's really coming all that quickly as precision. You're a little bit rusty and maybe not as sharp as you would be in a couple of weeks' time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I reckon the scores will get better and better, especially at Glendower. I think the scoring opportunities are a bit more. You know, par 72, 4 par 5s, and I think the guys will go a little bit lower next week.
Yeah, I think it will definitely provide a few more opportunities for the professionals. Hanson looking to finish with a flourish, really has struggled the last few holes. Let things get away from him a little bit. But now Ulrich van den Berg to potentially force a playoff. Currently 2 under par, needs to get to 3 to match Darren Fichardt, our clubhouse leader. He posted a 64 a little earlier on. Plenty of work here for Uli to do.
Oh,
that is so close. Just looked like it drifted a little bit at the end.
Yeah, you can't believe it. I mean,
unbelievable effort from Ulrich. He's agonizing over that. Yeah, but a heck of a good effort from him. First event back, limited schedule, coming back from an operation, 2 under par. Can't be displeased with that. Currently, that's good enough for solo second place. Rounds of 70, 69, and 1 under par today, 69 once again.
Interesting to see a lot of the veterans at the top of this leaderboard. You know, a lot of the older pros who know their way around the golf course and know their own games really well.
Yeah, as Keith Horn referred to it, the grey beards were really coming to the fore for the last couple of days. Yeah, just wanted to turn for Alex. That was to get to 2 under par and tie Ulrich van den Berg in a share of second place, but not to be. Still a good effort for Alex, though.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, Anton really struggling on the way in, and the ball goes for a dip as well, and not happy with the way things have turned out for him, especially on the back nine here at the Betway Championship. Really let things slip from having the lead at the turn. 1 clear of Ulrich van den Berg and this man in picture, Alex Heindel. Heindel's managed to stay in the hunt, but not to be for Anton Haig. So that's how things wrap up. The final group unable to reel Darren Fichardt in, and we do have a winner. Darren Fichardt, our champion in the inaugural Betway Championship, as he claims victory thanks to a stunning final round, 6 under par 64. A remarkable effort from Darren Fichardt. We did mention earlier on that somebody would come through the pack and potentially cause some problems. We thought it might have been Jaco van Zyl a little earlier on with the 65, but it wasn't to be. It was Darren Fichardt instead, playing in a couple of groups ahead of him. Finished up a short while ago, and that 64 has vaulted him to the top of the leaderboard and victory at the Betway Championship. Dylan, did you think a 64 was potentially out there today?
I mean, you have to play some serious golf to shoot that number. There's a couple of par fours where you're hitting lob wedge and sand wedge in, but on the whole, I thought about a 67, 68 will be the lowest score in. A couple of low rounds in there, so credit to Darren for coming in hot there and winning it outright.
Yeah, I think the most remarkable thing about his performance today was not a single dropped shot on the card. 6 birdies, and to keep the mistakes at bay is really impressive around this layout.
Yeah, that's a seriously proper round of golf. I'm sure you hit a bunch of greens. And to shoot 64, I can't say how good that is.
Yeah, remarkable performance from Darren Fichardt to claim victory here at the Betway Championship at Killarney Country Club. There's confirmation of it. 6 under par for his efforts today, 3 under in total. And that's 1 clear of Ulrich van den Berg. 1 under par for him today, 2 under in total. And 3 golfers tied third. Jaco Prinsloo looked like at one stage might make a charge at Fichardt, but not to be over the closing stretch for him. 2 dropped shots. Rowan Korb and Alex Heindel joining him in a share of third place. And really just an impressive effort from the golfers that managed to break par over 54 holes here at Killarney Country Club. Let's check out then how things finished up for Darren Fichardt. This is his putt on 18. What would turn out to be the winning putt. It's an unbelievable second shot to leave yourself in that sort of position and have that sort of a length putt for birdie on the last. Sure, at that stage must have thought it was a pretty good effort. Didn't realize just how good an effort it would turn out to be. Pretty happy with the way things went for him, but certainly a lot happier now as things conclude here at Killarney Country Club with Darren Fichardt claiming the victory. A deserved victory as well. There was always a potential of that happening with the leaderboard as bunched as it was. It was always going to take something special to get to the top of it, and he certainly provided the fireworks. Whole bunch of golfers towards the top of the leaderboard, registering rounds under par, so it was there for the taking, Dylan, but still, you had to play well to post a number.
Absolutely. I mean, just looking at those scores, there's a bunch of 68s, but to shoot 64 around there is a different class, honestly. So congrats to Darren. That's a fantastic round of golf and a good week.
Yeah, very good week for him, and he'll certainly be pleased with his efforts as we conclude the Betway Championship and what has been a very, very good tournament. Wonderful to see the Sunshine Tour professionals back in action and back competing again. This the first of 5 events in the Rise Up series, the Betway Championship, followed by the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship, which is next week at Glendower. We did hear from our Deputy Commissioner of the Tour, Thomas Abt, earlier on. The Titleist have come on board and will be sponsoring the 3rd event at Pretoria Country Club. So great to see them backing the tour. And that's followed by the events at ERPM and Huddle Park. It's not been the only event that has been on the go here at the Betway Championship. There's the Betway Birdie Challenge, and look at how things have panned out. Jaco van Sail with 13 birdies there, top of the pops. Dylan, that takes some doing to make 13 birdies around this track.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, you have to be such a good iron player to give yourself enough chances to make 13 of them. So yeah, that's a seriously large number of birdies.
Yeah, nice to see you in the hunt there as well. 11 birdies, but
like
a few mistakes along the way.
Yeah, just too many soft bogeys, you know, just kind of left myself too many 3 or 4 footers after a 20-foot birdie putt, and eventually you're going to miss 1 or 2 of those. But yeah, decent week, and looks like I'm in the hunt there, man.
Yeah, certainly that is looking good, and certainly showing signs of the game trending in the right direction. There's a lot of positives you take out of this week, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, just to play again was a big first step, and then to almost be in contention. Yeah, it's going to be exciting the next few weeks.
What do you take from your efforts out there the last 3 rounds? What's the main takeaway?
Just all the learning or relearning almost. You kind of forget about all those minute little details that you have to think about in the golf course. sometimes a left to right wind can be slightly downwind or slightly into the wind, and it's going to make a big difference. Those little details are stuff that you forget about when you haven't played tournament golf for 5 months. So
I guess it comes rushing back to you, doesn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
Well, Dylan, it's been wonderful to have you in the commentary booth with us today. Thank you so much for taking time out to come in and have a chat with us after your round. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Richard. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dylan, and best of luck next week at Glendower. But for now, we head down to the 18th green and our prize presentation for the Betway Championship.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the presentation of the trophy for our first tournament in the Rise Up Series, the Betway Championship, which has just concluded here at the Killarney Country Club, with Darren Fichardt winning on 3 under par. Had a superb day out today, shooting 6 under to bullet up to the top of the leaderboard. And on the presentation party, I've got David Rachidi, who is the Betway marketing manager. Betway coming on board this week as well to help out the Sunshine Tour and sponsor the first event. We've heard Richard speaking about the Birdie Challenge as well, which is going to run throughout the Rise Up Series. So that's a wonderful initiative that we can look forward to. It keeps the players engaged throughout all the 5 tournaments. And on my left, immediate left, we've got the winner of the Betway Championship, Darren Fichardt. Darren, congratulations. You must be happy. First time out, and you're a winner again on tour.
Yeah, it looks like I need to take 5 months off and then play tournaments. Very happy to win. It's so awesome just to have those butterflies again. You know, that sitting on the couch 5 months has been pretty tough, but really good to be back. And thanks to for Betway. You know, without them, you know, we'd be still sitting on the couch. But thank you very much to Betway for coming to the party and helping out the tour and getting us out here.
Fantastic indeed. Of course, it takes a lot of people to put together a tournament. To the Sunshine Tour, thanks to you for the wonderful work that you've done behind the scenes, to Golf RSA to make sure that golf returns in a safe manner, to all the other sponsors as well, the Gauteng provincial government for helping to get the tournament on Titleist, as well as African Bank. We're looking forward to the rest of the series. And Darren, your trophy first up. Congratulations, our Betway Championship winner, Darren Fichardt.
Thank you.
And that's how we conclude the presentation of the Betway Championship trophy. The Rise Up Series now moves to Glendower for the next tournament. We'll see you in a week's time.
Recording a 6 under par, 64 today from Darren Fichardt to claim the victory at the Betway Championship. A remarkable final round performance from him to hold off the likes of Ulrich van Berg, who carded a 1 under 69 today to finish on 2 under, followed by Jaco Prinsloo, Ruan Korb and Alex Heindel, also the guys in red numbers for the week. But Sunshine Tour victory number 18 for Darren Fichardt, and what a deserved one it is. A 64 today, and that the last putt of it for him. A birdie on the last, a very impressive scorecard for Darren Fichardt. 6 birdies, not a single dropped shot today. A round of 64 to go with rounds of 73 and a 70. Who'd have thought it after the first round? On the wrong side of the draw, incredibly tough conditions on day 1. Managed to battle through it and claim victory in this, the first of the Rise Up Series events. What a return to professional golf it has been. Congratulations to everybody involved in putting on this event, the Betway Championship. We look forward to joining you again next week for the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship at Glendower. We will be streaming once again live on the Sunshine Tour's Facebook page, as well as YouTube, and of course on DSTV now. From all of us here at Killarney Country Club, it's goodbye.